Hello and welcome back to the 4-0 Up podcast, and the keen-eyed viewers at home will notice straight away, Mason, you've lost a bit of weight. Rhys, welcome to the podcast.
Hello. Yeah, he gets it tough, doesn't he, Mason?
Yeah, he does.
I think it's
for good reason, though.
Yeah,
He's got a turkey, spec series, and the gym all in 1 week, and he's back and better than ever. No, Mason is currently away at the minute, so that's why Hammond is sitting in Mason's place, and we have a new guest on the podcast today. Rhys, you won a lovely Venezia tab. Is that Mason's fourth thing?
Yeah. I mean, didn't get on very well at the weekend. They lost 2-1 to Barry.
Gareth.
Barry's done him in.
Blair, to be fair.
Yeah.
Where are they sitting in Serie B?
16th.
In Serie B?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, at least they make good kits. Do you like the kits this season? What do we think of the kits this season? Nice.
You might
Little
show
collar.
No, we're a bit too edgy now.
No, I like the black one.
I like the gold.
They're
new-
trying too hard to make
but
it the stuff that edgy kids wear on Oxford Road, Manchester High Street.
And that's why I've got it.
No, the new season.
Oh, the
one.
new. Oh,
Yeah, they've changed the badge, haven't they? That badge is nice, but they've changed the
I
badge.
like
now.
the new badge. It's smart. I suppose it is a bit of a fashion statement, isn't it?
I prefer that badge.
Too many clubs changing the badges nowadays.
I know. I was looking into it because I was going to buy one. A lot of the fans were saying that they should focus less on nice kits and
focus on
actually
playing
good
it's
football.
fair, isn't it?
I think Arsenal fans who said that a couple of years ago.
Well, you think with all the revenue they get from kits, they could improve the
yeah.
playing squad, wouldn't you? But,
Well,
They had Nanny, didn't they? Was it? Nanny?
Yeah.
they did. Yeah,
And Ampadu.
he's moved, hasn't he?
he's out in Australia. Plays
Yeah,
for Melbourne
he
Victory.
did.
Yeah.
Good knowledge that.
Yeah, see,
Is that it?
I like it.
It looks better
I
with
like it.
short
It looks-
sleeves.
That isn't
The thing is, I
training top shot.
don't think they actually play in the one that they've sold to
I love
everyone.
that.
I think
No,
they're
I
playing
don't
a
think so.
slight.
I like that
I
one.
hate
Yeah,
that.
I love that shirt.
I like
hate
that
that.
one.
That shirt's
I
so
like that
nice.
one.
I think it looks tacky.
And it looks
I
a
hate
bit
that.
like a Bossman shop 5p bag.
Man United used to have a centenary top that was white and it was
Yeah.
reversible gold, and that's what reminds me
I like
of that.
reversible
And I have that
stuff.
top. I have that top, and it was
Not a
it was
fan.
unbelievable.
Yeah, that's too shimmery, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not a fan.
Well, anyway, we are going to just do another episode where we do a little bit of a roundup of the Premier League, a little bit of a chatty episode. And there was a bit of a 4-0 derby this weekend as well. So obviously the Mason Gill derby between Bournemouth and Leicester. And then we had the Everton versus Man United game. And I think we'll start with Everton versus
We've not actually
Manchester
said that
United.
Rhys is United.
Yeah,
Because Rhys is a Manchester
Rhys
United.
is not
Actually, a
numbered,
Venezia
but-
fan. He
I'll
just-
actually, will we quick fire quiz Rhys quickly?
Oh God.
Right,
On
so
what?
What?
Rhys, where are you from? What team do you
Oh,
support?
okay.
I'm from Louth. It's near Grimsby.
He's from
and-
Grimsby, don't want to admit it. Yeah, okay.
and I'm a Man United fan.
Nice. Respect. And who's your favourite footballer of all time?
Wayne Rooney,
Who's the GOAT?
Respect.
Messi.
Respect. Respect.
Yeah,
respect.
A United fan that knows ball.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
fair enough, yeah.
Well,
Not many.
that's a bit far. Wouldn't say I know ball.
No, you do.
You all heard my Diogo Dallo opinion.
Yeah, since you've said it, it's all
Yeah.
changed.
The
mate.
viewers will know. Go back to your episodes, listen to the ball or no ball section, and that will return today. We didn't have time last time to do the ball or no ball, but we'll definitely get it out today. Right, starting off with Manchester United versus Everton. We'll go to an Everton fan's perspective first, and then we'll take over on Man United in a second.
Well,
What did you make of the game?
I think it was quite obvious that in the first half we were dreadful.
Yeah.
Awful. First half, awful. I think
6 minutes.
we were talking well before in the bus, weren't we? That we started too quick with a goal, and then it sort of set us up to fail, if you know what I mean.
It was
Great
like
goal.
you went 1-0 up too early,
False
so
insecurity,
you weren't
yeah.
going to go for a second. You were just going to sit back and
Yeah.
just try and hold on.
Yeah, it's a
'Cause
bit.
You never
that's-
know what's going to happen.
It's a bit of a syndrome last season, really. We score a goal and then don't hold the lead. It happened against Brentford this season. It's happened a few times, but
Yeah.
first half terrible, bad a goal. Second half a lot better. But we did the usual thing of looking really threatening for the last 10 minutes and not scoring, which is frustrating. But again, last season we'd have lost that 3-0, sorry. So
Yeah.
definitely
A
improvement.
word on the goal. It was a very, very good goal.
very
The
good
press
goal.
to get the
Yeah.
ball. I think it was Onana
Onana,
who won it
yeah.
off Casemiro.
He had a good game against
Oh,
Casemiro.
no, I know
thought,
that
as well.
versus Casemiro
He's
was a
impressive,
really good
isn't he?
battle. I thought physicality, daddy long legs.
At his age,
Onana.
Casemiro
mate.
got
21
away-
years of age,
yeah.
got a massive
Yeah.
future out of him. to be fair.
Casemiro got a massive wake-up call as well. Like, this is
Yeah.
what the Premier League's all about. Like, it doesn't matter who you
They
play,
helped him
you're
kick
gonna
on
get.
after that as well,
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
he,
he
as
played
well?
well after that.
I
but-
do want to talk about Casemiro because I think he had the oddest game ever because
Yeah.
he was absolutely phenomenal,
I've got
but
the
he
stats.
also had an absolute
He
stinker.
lost the ball 18 times.
Yeah.
He won back 9 times.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
But then you look at, I think it was Idrissa. He
had
lost
a
it
poor
7.
game.
He was
but
awful.
Even
In the-
still,
yeah,
No, in the
he
first
was-
half he was poor.
he was
the
poor.
worst. He was the worst.
I thought him and Bardagola, I thought Iwobi was pretty poor as well. But
No, I felt Owen was okay.
but
Not as bad.
even though he was poor, Idrissa he
Still
gave-
won the ball about 400 times. Yeah.
He gave the ball away 7 times and won it back 9 times.
Yeah.
And then you
Quite
got
weird, isn't it?
And I thought it was a big shot that BT gave Casemiro man of the match.
Did they? Agreed.
Yeah, he did
Yeah,
deserve man of the
yeah,
match.
they did.
I think I've never seen a more 2 out of 10 to 9 out of 10 to 2 out of 10
Yeah,
performance in
it
my
was so
life.
odd.
I couldn't really have given it to anyone else though. No one else really.
It wasn't a good. It wasn't
did anything.
a
No one
very
had-
good game.
No, it
was
wasn't.
it?
In
It was
terms of
pretty
quality,
poor.
no.
I think as well, it was like every time he got the ball and he was passing, he was doing some Hail Mary Bruno balls, you know, where every time he's
Yeah.
picking up, he was looking to the corner, he's like, big switch over to Rashford, big switch over to Anthony.
Trying too hard
Yeah,
to make it
trying
right,
to force
yeah.
a pass. And I was kind of saying to myself, I was like, he should just win the ball back and just give it to Eric.
Give it to the creative players, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
was
you
just-
do as a break.
That's the sort of player I thought we'd signed.
Yeah, where he just won the ball back. Like,
Because
Kante
it was
a little bit,
always-
where he just won the ball back and give it to someone else.
To be fair to him, though, it did work in the second half with Ronaldo, didn't it? You know, they've got that chemistry, and he picked him out with that one ball, didn't he? So it can happen, but
I suppose
that was a good
was
pass,
very
to be fair.
good
Yeah, it was
ball,
his
yeah.
only good ball of the game.
he has sort of
And that's
come
what matters.
from
sorry in the first half.
Modric and Cruz
Yeah.
to Eriksen and Bruno. Eriksen and Bruno are both good players,
Just not
Not
that.
but it's not Modric and
Yeah.
It's
Bruno.
not. It's not the best. It's not
No.
one of the best midfielders of our last generation, and the best passer probably of the
Yeah,
last
exactly,
generation. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah. And I think as well, it was like, I remember I was listening to the Peter Crouch podcast yesterday, and he was saying when Luka Modric was at Tottenham, he said to every midfielder, he was like, I do not care where Modric is in the pitch. As soon as you win the ball back, you give it to him. And I think that's what almost he said to Casemiro. But I think watching that game, that was the perfect game to kind of look and go, we need a Frankie de Jong, we need a Benacer, we need a deep line playmaker, because he would have completely changed the game.
What a player!
Yeah,
He's a serious player.
Kakaret, anyone. I think even Yuri Tielemans might have had a decent effect in that game as well.
Yeah.
I think someone.
Still not who should go after though.
He's that sort of player, though.
He
isn't
is. He is.
He's
but
not.
he
He's
could
not
do
the level of
better, but-
Benacer or De Jong. I'm not saying that at all. I'm
He's
just saying.
very overrated.
Who?
Yuri Tielemans.
I
I
still
think
think
he's
he's a good
such.
player.
He's a good player, but
I
he's
think
so,
I think
especially by Leicester fans.
He's more fairly
he's
rated
so-
now after his last season.
Mason
I think
does
last
have a lot
season
of pretty
maybe.
things to say about
Does
him.
he not like?
No,
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 not
he
a fan.
hates him,
No.
but he
Mason
doesn't hate
is
him,
like
but-
Tielemans now.
No, he doesn't. He's not a massive
You didn't
fan.
like St Maximin, did you? So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Happens, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think in a game like that, if we had a De Jong or a Benacer or someone like that, we'd have put 4 past you.
No, I don't think.
I don't
I
think
think
we've
it
got
would
the
have
strike
been
force
I think it
for
would have
that.
totally been.
We're
a totally
good.
different
No, we're
game.
good defensive.
I don't even think it's that. I honestly don't see where goals come from in our team. I know. Obviously,
You scored two from
Anthony's-
us making mistakes.
Anthony's
Yeah.
got 3 and 3 in the Premier League. He's had a good start, but he still drifts in out of games
Yeah, he
so
does.
much.
I was
Like-
going to say
Oh, yeah.
this.
Who did I say this to yesterday? It's like Anthony's been good for about 3 minutes
Yeah.
for Manchester United, but in those 3 minutes he's got
scored
3
three,
goals.
I
Yeah.
was sat
And then-
next to Adam, shout out Adam,
Yeah.
in the lecture yesterday. He said, "Yeah, Anthony's quality." And I was like, what have you got this from? Like, he has scored 3 good goals, like fair enough. But when he gets on the ball, he doesn't exactly look dangerous. And he doesn't look like he's
He
gonna.
reminds me of Bernardo Silva.
The thing is,
He's just a
he
bit like
always
constant cutbacks.
looks to do something.
Yeah,
Like,
which is good,
he
which is good.
he's always going forward. He's quick. He's direct, and it's someone United haven't had. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Rashford was doing that until he got his injuries, and Martial isn't that type of player anymore.
No, he's not,
and
no.
and we needed that. We've needed that for a while,
Yeah, true.
but he's got one move. He cuts in
Yeah.
and he shoots
But it's
so
so
much.
against the
But-
left
Iron
foot,
Robin
Mick
wouldn't
Lego were
move.
very good.
I'm not saying he's Iron Robin, but you know what I mean.
The one against City was a worldie. Though,
Yeah,
to be fair,
but the
wasn't
thing
it?
is, that's going to happen once or twice when you're taking
Yeah, when he
4,
shot-
5, 6 shots
Yeah,
a
we
game.
only shot because you were so many goals down.
Exactly.
We just thought, I'll just try and make something happen.
Oh, it was hitting hope. Oh yeah, it was,
0-0, you don't take
yeah,
that, do
No,
you?
no, no.
No.
If 0-0 he misses, he's.
I mean,
Ten Hag's brilliant. I don't know.
You saw it against Arsenal. He did the same thing, cut in and absolutely skied it so far over the crossbar. But don't get me wrong, I'm a fan, and he's someone we've needed for a while.
Yeah.
And the goal on Sunday was brilliant. It was well taken.
finish.
I actually think as well. It was like the Arsenal goal and the Everton goal are almost identical. He
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
himself into it. And I actually think as well, I was listening to someone on TikTok was saying this. It was like you could start to see Ten Hag's game plan being implemented a little bit. It was like there was a 3 at the back, it was a 1 in midfield, which was Casemiro as a single pivot, and then it was a 6 because Shaw was coming inverted, Dalot was up there, Rashford and Anthony were holding the wings, so it was forcing a switch constantly. So Anthony was always on his own. I think that's how the goal comes. Anthony's unmarked.
Yeah.
That's a really good ball into him, and it's just an easy finish for him. And exactly the same in the Arsenal game. He's unmarked. In
Yeah.
that little right half space again. I
He's
think
on.
he picks up,
He's on mark
he picks
because
up that position really
you play
well.
on the transition. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
and he's really, really good in
That's
transition.
what I've gotten from it because both your goals came from us giving the ball away, and
Yeah.
within 10 seconds you were up our end and scoring. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
The problem with playing like that, though, in my opinion, with United is
you can't beat good teams like that.
it's not necessarily you can't beat good teams because Ajax beat good teams. It's a Pep system. He goes and beats good teams, but the difference is they've got the players to do it. Our squad,
Yeah.
I do like Martinez. I do like Varane. I don't think either of the fullbacks are good enough. I'm
Not good enough where you want to
no,
be.
no,
What
yeah,
about Dalot, mate?
no. Dalot is a good right back. I don't like him
For the-
as an
yeah, for the
inverted
system,
fullback.
yeah.
He's not good enough on the ball. He
Yeah.
gives the ball away a lot. Shaw's the same.
He's more of a balanced fullback. isn't he, Dalot?
Malasia's got a lot of promise, and it's the same with Dalot. They've both got promise, but they're going to need moulding. They're going to need time, and you're going to need to stick
A
with
few
them.
years.
I don't
Yeah.
think at the minute Shaw is a bad
No,
I don't think
but
he's bad at left back.
but
I don't think
the
he's
thing
bad.
is-
He's
Okay.
not good enough.
Yeah.
Not good enough. He's okay.
it's a
In
very
the long run, he's not good enough because I
Yeah.
don't think he's going to be here for that long.
But it's sort of it's such a like old-fashioned Man United fan type of view. But if you want to be up there, which is where we want to be, with the amount of money
It's
you
fair, you're a
spend,
global-
you want to be
global
with City,
superstar,
man.
you want to be
Yeah.
with Liverpool, even Chelsea and Arsenal at this point. You can't just get away with okay footballers.
Yeah, they have to be.
They need to be good.
world-class
Like
players.
Zinchenko, he never would have come to United because he was from City,
been
but he'd have been
perfect,
perfect
yeah.
for it. I mean, even Ben White and Tomiyasu, they
Who's-
Ben White's
White
been
at
brilliant,
right back
all
has
right.
been.
Yeah.
Even
he's
Tommy
been
Aston when it's
incredible.
weak.
yeah,
foot.
exactly.
Very good.
They've both been good, and then you look at City and Liverpool, and just
City
the
don't have a
quality
single,
of
in City's starting 16 players, they don't have a single bad player.
no.
You look at our starting 11. You can pick out a couple.
You've got a couple of
aren't
bad
good
players.
enough
Yeah.
players.
Because they've
yeah.
invested well, though, haven't they? That's the
Yeah.
difference.
Oh, they're incredibly run.
when
that's
they,
why,
when they, since their takeover, they've barely missed with any signings, have they? I know there's been a few very obvious
like
outliers.
Wilfred
Robinho
Boney.
and Joe.
Like Robinho and Gio, yeah, Gio's the main one, but
It's like it's going to happen, though, isn't it?
yeah,
Like,
90% of the signings have
100%.
been brilliant,
If-
whereas 50% of United's have, or 40,
Oh,
do you know
not
what I mean?
even.
40,
honestly,
30%.
Moses, yeah.
honestly, since Ferguson left, you could call Dan James a success because we sold him for more than we bought him for.
Yeah, if you sell for a profit.
Bruno's been good.
Yeah, Bruno's been good, yeah.
Varane, if he could stay fit, would have been a good signing.
I think
Yeah.
Martinez
Martinez looks
Ericsson
like-
is a very good
yeah.
signing because no matter
Eriksen's
how
good
well he
at
does,
free
because
as
he's
well.
free.
I'd make
Yeah.
a case for him being the best bit of business we've done since Ferguson
I totally
left.
agree. Totally agree. Totally agree.
Honestly, I can't think
Maybe,
of any
but-
for the price and what he
Zlatan
brings.
Ibrahimovic comes close because he was in a free, but he was only there for one season.
Exactly.
I think Ericsson's
Yeah, I
going
think
to
Eriksen's
be
the
there for
best,
far
yeah.
longer. He's not going to get injured. Fingers crossed. Touch wood. But
I can't really think about it. Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
say yeah.
Bruno's probably up there as well,
He-
because of
he's-
how
yeah,
important he was to your good
we had money on
seasons.
Lukaku.
Yeah, but you
You have to
spend
think about the impact
Yeah,
on your team.
you
Them
spend-
two
Not
goals in
Like-
Paris.
you spend 90 million on
No, I know.
on
I'm not,
Lukaku.
I'm not calling on
He
Lukaku.
put us
it's
back
saying,
so many years.
He did,
Mourinho
yeah.
did as a
Thanks, lads.
whole.
Yeah.
Personally, I think he may have won us the last 3 trophies we've won or whatever, but I think he put us back so many years with who he bought, the amount of money he spent. I mean, because he's the reason that Leicester can charge 85 million for Maguire and we'll pay it. He's the reason Ajax will charge us 65 million for Martinez and we'll pay it, because for years they were just like, we'll give you 70 million for Pogba, we want 80, all right, we'll pay that, we want 90 now, well, we'll
Yeah.
pay that. And it just,
Yeah.
when you start just
Yeah.
fold, I mean, look at Newcastle, you wanted Botman in the summer, they wanted 60, you said no, you come back in January, whenever it was, for 40, and you're like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, basically, they said 60, like, not a chance, and 40, not a chance. So we waited out until summer and got him for like 35.
Exactly.
But we're doing the complete opposite. Jadon Sancho the summer before we signed Sancho, they wanted 50. We didn't take it. We signed him for 70.
Yeah.
That's
You know
mad.
what I
that.
mean? You know what I mean?
Negotiators.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
It was
What on
even
earth?
in that same summer, it went up from 50 to like 120 because we just kept saying
Well, people know you've got money, that's what
That'd
takes
be
piss out
honest,
of
aren't it?
you. Yeah, it
We
happens
don't
when
even
it-
have a lot of money.
No, but-
Like,
no, but-
realistically, we don't actually
No,
have a lot of
no,
money.
you don't.
You know what I mean?
But you should do for what your
It's
club is.
because our us as a club is one of the biggest in the world.
You are the biggest in
Yeah.
the world.
It's the
Yeah.
biggest
Yeah.
name in the world.
It is,
isn't
yeah,
Yeah.
the biggest brand in the world. It is,
That,
it's
but
biggest
that's
brand
the
in
problem with
world. Where's
United.
Yeah,
It is a
that's
brand. At the end of the
is,
day,
yeah.
it's not even a football
Well,
club.
I
It's
think
not
that's
run
it.
like a
That's what
football
most-
club. It's run like a brand.
You look at our
Yeah,
board, it's
so,
things
yeah.
not one of them know anything about football.
No,
You
they're businessmen,
You
yeah.
go to Bayern Munich, even though Oliver Kahn has a bit of a short temper, and I've heard a couple of bad things about Oliver Kahn. He's Bayern Munich
Stern
through and
business,
through.
though. Yeah,
He's
stern
stubborn. He
business.
knows the game. Edwin van der Sar at Ajax.
Yeah.
I'd sell my soul to get Edwin van der Sar at Manchester United
Well,
as
it's like
CEO.
it's the best bit of business Newcastle have done since takeover was bringing Dan Ashworth in.
Oh yeah,
The-
100%.
from
Yeah,
Brighton.
100%.
Yeah.
He-
Jealous, we wanted him. So.
We wanted him, but he chose to go to Newcastle because
blame him.
he's just
Lewis Campos as well.
Yeah.
Right there too. I think Chelsea are probably going to
and
get
that
him.
Brighton are so well run, aren't they?
That-
Oh,
They
ridiculous.
really,
Yeah.
really are.
Like that
Really,
managerial
really
appointment
are.
of De Serbi is
brilliant.
Oh,
is
wow.
like the perfect.
I don't know how he
almost
hadn't been
perfect.
picked up before. Like,
Yeah.
they were
it's
unlucky
a bold
against Spurs.
appointment. It's
Because
a bold
Brighton look
appointment.
at
It is.
underlying
But they-
things
that's
rather
what
than
they're
just
good at.
achievements.
They're
don't
clever.
Even look at their
It's clever.
signings,
Where
they're
did
kind
they
of
get
based on the
from
same
club?
thing as well.
Like, didn't they get Potter from like Ostersund?
Yeah.
Well, they got it from Swansea, but Swansea got him from
Yeah,
Ostersund.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like,
He made his name at Ostersund.
I love
yeah, when
coaching
they went to the
stories
Emirates
like
and
that,
like
yeah.
putting in a result. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah,
The fact
that's
he's
brilliant.
British as well, and he's gone abroad.
He's
done it.
properly earned it, hasn't
Yeah.
he? He's not just an ex-pro. It's been
Literally,
given.
No.
It's like
He
all
was
the
manager
ma-
at Leeds Beck at uni as well. And
Yeah,
played
he
for
was,
York
yeah.
City,
Yeah.
literally like such a
love
humble
stories like
guy.
that.
It's like, of all the managers out there that Brighton could have got, De Serbi and probably Ruben Amorim from Sporting Lisbon were the two ones they could have got, and
Deserve his right.
both of them would have been good managers.
Yeah.
De Serbi was the right appointment. He's going to be close.
100%, yeah.
Yeah, but no, I know what you mean. It's just the way we're run is awful, and I think we're so far off the pace from Man City, so far off.
everyone.
And
knows
this
it.
Ten Hag project will take 3 years before it's good.
And
You need to
I
trust him.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think-
I think you will, though. I think you will.
I think we will. I think
yeah,
I saw
well,
something.
you've got to, haven't you?
I saw something on Sky Sports News where they said if Ollie had conceded 6 to City in a Manchester derby and then struggled in Cyprus, how much pressure would have been under? And I can't remember who said it. It's the Scottish guy in Sky Sports. And he was like, I think Ten Hag's under a massive bit of pressure.
He's not.
That's absolutely
No, he's
ridiculous. You
not.
can't
He's
compare
not.
Ollie and
He's
Ten
not.
Hag because Ten Hag has came to the job with a name. He's won 3 leagues with Ajax. He's won trophies in Holland as
Semi-final.
well.
Well, it was
Semi-final
for
Champions
years,
League
wasn't
in
it?
a massive run. He's rebuilt 2
He
different
was
Ajax
always
squads.
He was the one for like City as well. City were
Yeah,
like,
Barcelona
yeah.
before they
Yeah,
appointed
Pep was meant to
Xavi
go
were
this
looking at
year,
Ten
wasn't
Hag.
he?
Yeah, and Pep said if he goes, the one I want is Ten Hag. He
'cause
said
he
Ten
played
Hag
with
will be my
Bayern.
replacement.
I
Yeah.
saw an opinion on Talk Sport this morning. I think it might have been Talk Sport. Probably was because they talk
Can't
shite.
remember Neville.
Yeah, I was
Um,
gonna say that.
it was Graham Potter's a better manager than Ten Hag.
See, I actually don't think that's that.
I don't
bad.
think it's that
No,
far
no,
off.
no,
I don't think it's
I
that
think-
far
I think
off,
it's
no.
much. I think it's much closer of a debate than what
I think
you'd maybe.
I don't think it's that bad, but I just
I
think
think
it's
they're
like,
about on level terms at the
Yeah.
minute. You know?
Yeah.
at the
I mean,
minute, but overall,
I think Arteta's in that definitely in
Yeah,
that pool as well.
100%.
Yeah,
100
Arteta. Potter.
Yeah, that pool just below
Yeah.
Guardiola.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
and
Klopp,
Klopp's
yeah.
sitting there
No,
Like Klopp,
not for
Conte,
me.
Guardiola. Well, Guardiola.
I
number
honestly
1,
think-
Conte, Klopp number 2, and then you got the
If
third.
you're talking this season, you'd have to have Lampard in your top 4 or 5. Honestly,
this season.
Yeah.
this season he has been fantastic. I mean,
What
I'll
did he have?
hold my hands up. He was my number 1 for the sack race. I thought he'll be the
Everyone's,
first to go.
mate.
yeah.
I didn't think he was that good last season. He did well to keep you up, but I thought he dropped.
But remember
points
that
where he
was
couldn't
with
have.
that was with 4 different
It was-
managers' squads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
But this season he's come in. He's had a bit of a transfer window. I mean, that signing Amadou Onana, that's
mate.
such a coup.
God,
That's
he's
such a
absolutely-
signing.
He's
I mean,
absolutely mustard, mate.
he's brilliant.
He's absolutely brilliant for the league
he
last
is
season as well.
brilliant.
He was
And-
absolutely insane. Was he in team of the year for the league last season?
No, I don't think
He
so.
definitely got some sort of.
He only started like 10 league games, I think, but he come in and just absolutely transformed them.
Well, because they obviously I think they won the league 2 or 3 years ago, and then
Yeah,
they
they did, yeah.
the main TV sponsor pulled out
Yeah.
because they tried to go to Amazon, the league undid.
Yeah.
And Amazon basically offered them loads less than what Canal were offering them. So then they
Yeah.
went back to Canal, and then Canal
Yeah.
offered loads less than Amazon.
Which is
they were
fair
like,
enough,
you've
because
got
it's a crap league.
So then
League owns Manchester
basically,
United.
basically you've only got PSG making any money.
Yeah.
So,
Monaco.
Well, that's the thing, innit?
struggled as
no
well.
one cares about any of the games
Monaco
apart
was
from
getting ready.
PSG
They
play,
couldn't get
really.
the fall from
Exactly,
Greece
and
there.
and that's sort of the reason they had to sell Onana and
And
getting
Botman.
him for 35, and I think they were both about
It is
35 million.
it's cheap.
It is cheap.
No,
Relatively
in
cheap.
today's
Jonathan
market,
David will go from
For his
Leeds
age
to
and
summer as
for his-
Jonathan
for
David will
what
go
he
soon
is.
as well.
Yeah, he will.
in the
I'd have a look at him at United.
I said this in the
100%.
summer. I said I'd love to get Jonathan David. Can play all across the front 3. Can play in the number 10 at times. Has done for Lille. His pressing numbers are off the chart. He's a very good finisher in front of goal.
I
He's
think-
agile. He's quick.
My
Yeah.
3 as a long-term striker. If I could pick anyone on the planet right now,
Sesko's got to be up there, mate.
Yeah.
he was until he went to I'd have
was
had him
always
this
gonna
summer until he
happen,
went
Yeah,
to
but
Leipzig.
it'll be at Leipzig for 1 year.
Yeah,
He's
but
gonna
then he's
terror
got
it
he's
up.
got
He'll
to
do a year at Leipzig and go.
Yeah,
to a
exactly.
bigger
But
club.
that's not this summer.
You see that
He's
goal
still
he
got a
scored?
year at Leipzig.
Like,
hasn't
yeah,
he?
so it's,
But-
he finishes this
Yeah.
season.
Yeah,
and
it
then
sells
goes to
to
Leipzig,
Leipzig.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'd go for Ivan Toney. I think he's fantastic. I think
Yeah.
everything he
All-round
does on a
striker.
football
He deserves
pitch.
that move as well.
He's actually he's like one of the few Premier League complete strikers.
Yeah, and
everything, free kicks, penalties,
Honestly,
everything.
And I also think that's a somewhat realistic move because
course it's
I mean,
realistic,
obviously,
you're a step up.
Liverpool have got Nunes now. I mean, he hadn't
They're
had
not
a
gonna buy
great
a striker.
start, but they're not
Spurs
going to buy
aren't gonna buy a
No,
striker.
City have got Haaland, obviously, and then you sort of got Chelsea and Man United who are looking at a striker. Or I'd go Osimhen from Napoli.
Yeah.
I think he
Injury
just
prone.
He was linked,
he
wasn't
is.
he?
Yeah, he was. But he
That
is injury.
140 plus Ronaldo. Your loan move or
He's
something.
so injury prone.
He is
Yeah.
injury prone. He is, but
He's good,
he is
though.
everything
He's very good,
that
yeah.
Ten Hag
Against-
wants in a striker.
against Liverpool-
or Jonathan David.
Against
That'd
Liverpool in
be
the
one of
Champions
them.
League before he got
He's a
injured.
tad on
it's
Orthodox
terrible.
Aussie man, but he's still good. I still really like him.
He's good, but
Go on.
I was going to say it's like, I mean, obviously what's happened with Sebastian Haller this season is devastating, but
Yeah.
and obviously I'm sure we all hope he gets well soon. But where he was at Ajax, he was the big guy up front. And Ten
Yeah,
Hag,
they
he
used him
just-
like he was supposed to.
Ten Hag, he loves a big striker. It's weird because the way he
Class-
plays
class on your
football,
hog
you'd
law as
never
well,
think
yeah.
he'd want a big striker. He
works,
just
doesn't
loves
it?
big
Well, it's a
strikers.
focal point, isn't it?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
needs a focal point, and United don't have that. Like Martial's link-up play is honestly, it's
Unbelievable.
quality. It's some of the best in the
Wait, did he
Premier
get the
League.
assist for Anthony's
Yes, he
goal?
did. Yeah.
just-
His link-up,
Unfortunately, come off injured. wasn't
yeah, that was
That
disappointing.
was in the warm-up, wasn't it? when
Could have
he
scored
played?
as well.
He's hit.
Pickford rushed him. It's like
Yeah,
the ball
he
coming
did,
into the
yeah.
box. His ball control there, close control in the box. About 3 around him was incredible.
It was,
Yeah.
yeah. He was just shouting at him to shoot. You're like,
Yeah.
just please shoot, but
It's-
he's
it's
got
like-
that.
It was like it wasn't anything on Martial. It was a credit
No.
pick from
Yeah.
Thomas.
No,
Like,
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, what we saying? There?
And then he had Tadic as in his first or one, you know, in the first big run in the
Yeah,
Champions
yeah.
League. He was down the middle. He was a number 9, false 9, sorry. And to swap him out of his system for Sebastian Haller, who's an out and out striker, he does link the play up well. I'm not gonna lie, he's a good footballer, but to have that in your system, that interplay, to go from a Martial type to a Tony type, it shows that Ten Hag is a fantastic coach, and he coaches the players that you want.
He's not stubborn like a lot of managers have. Will stick to their old ways and
Exactly.
put square pegs in round holes.
And I think we've seen the tactical adaptability from Ten Hag as well, because Ten Hag doesn't play counter-attacking football. He never has done.
No.
And he knew that he had to set up in the Liverpool game and the Arsenal game in a counter-attacking system, because he knew that his Man United team weren't there yet, which I really appreciate. Because after the Brentford game and the Brighton game, when he tried to put possession, he knew it didn't work, so he went back to the drawing board and he was like, look, if we go out and play this possession-based football, Liverpool and Arsenal can put 9 past us.
Yeah.
So I that's what I love about him so much. He knew he had to mix it up, and he mixed it up perfectly.
He's not stubborn enough. He's just very like flexible, which is what you need.
He's got a brain.
He's a modern coach.
One criticism I do have of Ten Hag, and he did this while he was at Ajax, and he does not rotate at all. He picks his strongest players every week.
He picks on merit. So if you're playing well, you keep playing.
Yeah, I get that, but when you're playing 2-3 games a week, especially with a World Cup coming up, especially with players like Eriksen, I mean, he's been fantastic. You've got to remember,
he will fall apart.
He had a heart attack, you know, and he's played every game this season, almost 90 minutes every game. It's ridiculous.
I don't understand why you've gone to Cyprus. I know you struggled in Cyprus, but why are you starting your best team?
I was just
I don't understand it.
Dalot shouldn't have played. Dalot, Casemiro should have played. Sancho shouldn't have played. Well, probably would have been a good game for Sancho to get his confidence back, but he was scared.
He was
terrible. Yeah, he was really, really bad. He deserves to.
He's in a weird situation.
He deserves a break inside. I'm concerned. I'm concerned he won't be good.
I'm not concerned he won't be good. I think he's a fantastic player. He's in the wrong team.
Not
he's not a Premier League winger.
We were saying it yesterday. We said it yesterday. If you swap Jack Grealish, and Sancho, you'd get Grealish would thrive in this Man United team, and Sancho would thrive in that Man United team.
United allow for more individual brilliance.
They do.
I mean, look at
that's the Ole football still being inherited.
Yeah, but I like that. I mean, that's why Anthony actually looks quite good.
It makes you stand out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sometimes it was a bit of the unknown. Like Anthony scored that goal against City because he wasn't afraid to do that a little bit. Whereas you would never see a City player just, apart from De Bruyne, but you wouldn't ever see one of them shift it to City.
I don't think I've ever seen De Bruyne cut in from 35 yards.
Not from 35. No,
it's such high risk football, and Pep isn't that. He's robots, isn't he? He's a robotic coach.
Pep will drop you for doing that.
Brilliant.
Pep will, like, if you shoot and miss from there, you're getting dropped.
That is partially because they have 4 good players in every position.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. Out of the 22-man squad, they've got like 2, but they've got like 2 not good.
Yeah, but we can't knock it because United have had the money to spend to try.
They've spent more.
They haven't done it.
We've spent more.
Spent a lot more.
I mean, we broke the world record on Paul Pogba, and 5 years later he's gone on a free back to where we bought him from.
And we could have sold him the summer before for 50 million.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible.
That Lingard, we've said this every podcast. Should have sold him for West Ham for like 40
million. 80 million on him.
Would
have been 80 million easy on them.
40 million in January, and we let him go for nothing. And
I didn't play him the rest of the season either. I don't get it.
And that's because Solskjaer said, he was like, I've got to place you in this team. This is where I want you.
But he hadn't.
And he hadn't. He completely lied. He didn't even bother. I mean, he played 5 minutes against West Ham and he scored an absolute belter. He scored, I think, a couple of games after that, and then just didn't see him for the rest of the season. Yep. And that's because
Lingard's a confidence player as well. When he was coming back from West Ham after that loan spell, he had been given at least a chance for the first opening weeks of the season.
And he wasn't.
Yeah, and he wasn't given that at all.
I think you should have just sold him.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah, you should have sold both of them in the summer.
Like if you're going to use him, it would have been them first 5 games of the season. And you just didn't.
Well, you think
because then you can go. Well, he had his chance.
Sorry, I was just gonna say, you'd think with United's owners being so money driven, you'd have took your win there and then used that money elsewhere, or they could have took that money out. But it was such an obvious. Everyone knew you should have sold it, and they didn't.
I actually think Lingard and Pogba are quite marketable though.
They are
that way. Pogba's going to get another Adidas deal. He's going to be in a couple more ads. He's going to be doing dances.
United fans hated him because they were both humans.
Yeah, but I just think in the owners' eyes, and go, well, how many times
why
do
do you think we signed Ronaldo?
Yeah,
that was the
stop him going to City.
Cash money.
It wasn't even. City didn't go for him.
No, they baited you into thinking.
Just like they did with
Sir Alex Ferguson pooed himself, and the board went right. Sorry. Yeah.
That's controversial.
No, Alex Ferguson absolutely pooed himself because he thought Ronaldo was going to City. He thought his boy was going to City.
Should have just let him. Like you put.
No, it was never
He
going.
would have got dropped after 5 games. If he gone to City, he would have got dropped after 5 games.
No, he wouldn't, because look, they didn't.
Oh,
No, but
no,
he'd still,
no,
he'd
yeah.
score 40 a season.
I can't lie.
I take that back.
You say that, and
No, he
we were
would,
all like,
mate.
oh, they hadn't had a striker.
Yeah.
That Haaland's going to struggle.
Yeah,
And he comes in and
Who said Ireland was going to struggle?
Toby
I
Coxon.
take that.
Toby Coxon.
Oh, Toby Coxon, yeah, sorry, yeah.
Toby
I
Coxon.
take back what I said about Ronaldo at City.
Take away Toby Coxon, verified tick.
Yeah, what is it? Toby Coxon
it
Journal
gone.
Get him out.
or Sports?
Yeah, that's
Get
the
it
one.
off now.
Toby
on.
Coxon
Get it
Sports.
gone.
Banned. Yeah,
Someone's
hashtag
trying to
gone.
Get it
Cancelled.
Hashtag ban Toby Coxon Sports.
Yeah,
Can we
Toby
also
Coxon
ban Ethan Ball Media for his shameless self promotion on everything we
Likes
ever
his
do?
own tweets.
Does
Post
he?
it.
Yeah, like his own.
You did,
Nah.
right, so we'll explain this,
Shut
and podcast
up.
viewers, you're
Oh,
going to
yeah,
want to
I
listen to this
thought
one.
he had, I
So
didn't-
we had to do something yesterday in class where you made like your own live blog and you can upload stuff from Twitter, a little bit like
Crap,
the Twitter
by the way.
moments that we did.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was on a live
It
blog.
was crap.
Ethan Ball was uploading his own Twitter tweets and liking his own Twitter tweets and then uploading them to the blog, and they got exposed in front of everyone in the class. Ethan Ball Media, I hope you're watching. You're a disgrace.
That's really poor. Ethan.
That is really bad. I saw it and I thought, has he liked his own tweet instead? And went, probably has.
Yeah, because I think it was Rhys said initially, and then I went, he's like so tweet. And then it was on the board, we had to say it as well again, but yeah.
God's
You
sake.
didn't miss much.
No.
you
It
was
pretty poor.
It was another UCFB
Yeah,
lecture.
it was one of them ones where we had to write something up on the board about these disasters that happened, and it was Hillsborough, and the word underneath was Sue.
And then there was Tom Lakewood in Factory.
Rhys Jones's birthday.
Okay.
That was me.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I also did Ben Dixon's Snapchat story. If you know, you know. Oh.
Of course, he was going on about Jordan Rhodes and
yeah,
and
Danny Ward.
I'd just like to go on record and say I watched Huddersfield against Hull on
Oh,
Sunday.
yes,
Oh,
totally.
How
like
bad
this.
were they? Oh, how bad were Hull? Sorry, they're awful.
Hull.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry,
Awful,
Hull.
mate.
Hull.
Hull, yeah.
Um,
Hull. We don't like
I
Hull,
was-
do we, Rhys?
You
I was,
hate Hull, don't you?
no. I went because I thought, you know what, it's a stadium off the list. You know,
That's why I went last year.
It's a game of football.
crap
isn't it?
ground,
Yeah.
really
Crap
bad
ground,
Yeah.
terrible.
Oh, it was tin
Terrible
pot.
team.
There was no atmosphere. It was such a nervous game of football.
No, you're right. I was the same. I went to watch them against Barnsley. That's the
Yeah,
local derby.
you went with Ben.
They were terrible. Both teams were shocking. Terrible.
He's so passionate.
Terrible. Both teams are shocking. They
were
were terrible. They were terrible. Who did this guy's accent yesterday? Who was it?
Don't know.
Oh, someone did this guy's accent.
Was it good?
It was awful.
Oh.
It was awful, but
It was
it was just a
awful,
high
really
pitched
bad.
voice that sounded skies.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
sorry.
course.
Let's put our allegiances aside here.
Sorry for the viewers that don't know what we're
Sorry.
talking about. All 5 years.
So obviously, Hull have come into it 20th in the league. Huddersfield 23rd.
Ooh.
So serious standard, right? and it was just awful. It
Hull
was.
made another mistake, didn't they?
You what?
Hull made another mistake, didn't they? All their goals have
Lu-
giving the ball away.
Louis Coyle, captain
Yeah.
right back, smashes an header into the top corner of his own goal. about 15, 20 minutes in, and then
That's it.
Did the place erupt? Did the roof fall and blow off?
I think I had about three people go mental. And then I look across onto the home stand and some lads giving it large, going, mauled by the Tigers and all that. That was it. Honestly.
Don't know that's what I do.
Yeah, he was fully doing it.
Getting
Yeah.
mauled by the Tigers.
But just, oh.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It makes me angry.
The thing is,
I remember
right,
Hull University came to Bellevue last year. Do you remember? And
Oh,
they were all out
that's
to
right.
doing
Yeah,
beers.
so
And we were
tragic.
they were singing loads, and then we went like
Getting
3-0
mauled
up.
by the Tigers. Mauled by the Tigers.
I just remember in the live stream, obviously, it's like total silence, and then it's just they stop singing, and then it's just me. You're not singing, and then I thought you were gonna join in. Nobody. So I was like, wait, sing it. And it's like, you're not singing, and there's a good 40 heads look up at me like this, and I was like,
You know, all these lads in
Yeah.
suits.
They've come in
on
suits,
suits. Turn
yeah.
around and went,
look up
Yeah.
at me, my big puffy Hollis coat.
yeah, it was a pretty poor game of football. I mean,
Yeah.
their second goal, Michael Hellick, who they signed from Barnsley. You would
Yeah,
probably
I know Michael Hellick, yeah.
He
Polish.
about a yard out, and they still don't clear it off the line. He just wins an header like a yard out, and then. There was they had another chance actually. Huddersfield did. Could not tell you. I don't know any of the players. They're all a bit crap, aren't they?
Yeah,
But,
they are.
they had a volley from about 15 yards out, smashed the post, and checked my phone. Sofa score said they've scored.
I'm thinking, no, we haven't.
That was
Have you
like,
taken off your glasses just in case?
what was it? Wipe my glasses. I was like, no, they haven't scored.
Windshield wipers come
Yeah,
on.
no, honestly, and I mean, I was right at the back of the Hull.
I saw you right,
right
yeah,
at the
yeah.
back, and it was down the other end.
You saw Adam's house from.
Honestly, to be fair, the Hull fans are decent, and they
Yeah, because they've had a takeover, mate. That's the reason
yeah,
people was
yeah,
like,
the
"Go,
Hull
mate,
fan they
we're
were
still
loving it.
terrible."
They were singing the whole game. I mean, but that's sort of what you get from an away end.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Huddersfield out there. Ben Dixon, but you're a liar, mate. You're an absolute fraud.
It was that time last year when they were in the playoffs or whatever, and like Mason sent a tweet, and it was like the Huddersfield playoff away end or something. It was like just all these empty seats. It was like half the away end was filled, and Ben took that so bad. He took it so personally.
It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much. I'm not going to claim to be a scholar of Hull City, but
No, I will.
I don't know how much of a derby it is, but obviously it's two Yorkshire sides. I thought it'd be a little bit.
No,
it's not. It's not.
Well, no, it's like other sides of Yorkshire.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But no, it was poor. It was a poor game of football. I want my money back.
Yeah.
How
How
much
much
did
did
you
you
pay?
cost? 15 quid.
15, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, money back.
Yeah, to be fair, that's what I paid to watch a League Two game the other day, so I can't always say
Wow.
it's got tell myself for 15
Was that at
quid.
Salford?
Yeah.
Oh,
Was it
God.
14?
Class of
It's
92,
10 for
Robin, yeah.
Stockport on Saturday.
Really, yeah.
Oh, God. Scholes, he got it the whole game, mate.
Was he there?
No,
Oh.
but the old Giggs got it as well.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Grimsby boys,
Done-
Ron Bender,
done-
Ryan Giggs is a you can finish a sentence.
Yeah. we'll
Doesn't
not
even,
finish it.
doesn't
I
even
won't
own the
know.
club,
I
by the
won't
way.
know, but cheers.
Doesn't even own the club.
No, he
Right,
doesn't.
right,
No,
Ryan
no,
Giggs
Oh,
got
no.
nothing to
Yeah.
do
No,
with
he
it.
doesn't.
Pull out for 1 year.
Yes,
Yeah.
Scholes got it. Scholes sucks his daughter's toes or whatever it was. He was
Yeah,
singing
yeah.
the old sound. It was funny, but
What about Genev?
oh no, he actually didn't get it. To be fair, I don't know why though.
G-Nev.
Because
He actually loves the club.
too
yeah,
busy
I like
He
that.
does,
to
he
be
Like
does.
fair.
Scholes pissed off to Oldham.
Yeah,
he doesn't
well,
care
it
about
was
the club.
it
And
was
then
the-
played against Salford.
No, he was just a bad manager. at
well,
Oldham,
it was the
wasn't
classic. You
They all
get a
are
job
older.
because you were a good player.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like Frank
That's why he had,
Lampard.
didn't he have like 2 games and then
Yeah, we had 2 games, and then there was a conflict of interest because he owned Salford, so he couldn't
Yeah.
he couldn't have a job. That's what it was. He couldn't.
No,
manage.
Why
they were in
hire
the
him
same
then?
league, weren't they?
Why hire him?
I don't know.
Big name, innit?
Yeah,
You know, I'd go watch Oldham if Paul Scholes was there.
If managed it, was
Yeah,
it?
if he was
probably,
managing him,
yeah.
I'd go watch
Yeah, if you
him.
would, you would if you
Yeah,
were doing
if you
it.
knew
Yeah.
if you knew Gary Neville was going to be in the box at the Peninsula Stadium every week,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would
it's weird, that.
It's
bring
like
up the
Wrexham
interest.
and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Ryan
yeah,
Reynolds.
yeah.
We
It's
saw
all
them in the gantry.
Do you see their game
Oh,
of the weekend,
no.
by the way?
7-5.
They're not like 7-0 up though.
They were 6-1 up.
6-1 up. That's it.
Every game plays like that because they can't defend.
Paul Mullen
No,
just scores
it-
7
it's
again.
all
He's a nonce.
it's all rigged for the cameras.
Me and Ozzy Ben
Telling
had on
you.
the commentary.
It is.
It's rigged for the cameras.
Apart from our game against them,
When they were playing like minus 3 points, bottom of the league, Dover, and it's like,
beat
like
them
93, 92 or
Does
Does
whatever it
Dover still
was.
have that goalkeeper on TikTok? I am King Junior or something.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
he plays
God.
for,
Yeah.
who does he play
Does he
for?
still play for Dover?
Are they
he
even a
plays for-
team?
I want to say like Dagenham and Redbridge for some reason. but
Oh,
I don't
He
really?
know.
used to play for Dover though, didn't he?
I'm pretty sure he plays Dagenham and Redbridge, who York played
He's
tonight.
not English, is he? I think I know you mean.
Dagenham and Redbridge are like that team that would like win 5-0 then lose 4-0 then win 5-0 then lose
I can
4-0.
look.
Check up their look at their flash scores.
I am, mate.
Get the flash scores up. Everyone get your phones up.
Yeah, get the phones.
They have a player called. They've
No, I
got.
don't think he does play for Dagenham.
What's the lad that raps that plays for Dagenham and Redbridge?
Could not tell you.
Kamikaze.
Kamikaze.
Kamikaze plays for. Do you know what Kamikaze is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays for Dagenham and Redbridge.
Wow. What
Yes.
about speaking of
5-1 defeat, 5-4 win, 4-1 defeat, 4-1 win.
You get a lot of
5-0
teams
defeat.
like that. Then Bayern
Yeah.
are the same because they've got a good coach that's attacking,
Right.
but not can't defend.
Um,
You get so many teams like that.
yeah,
nationally.
was the
speaking
most
of
fantastic wire I've ever
footballers who've had a bit of a time of it off the field, that lad who was at Halifax, he goes
Which
on
one?
the one who went on Love Island.
Oh, Jamie.
Oh, Jamie.
Williams.
He didn't
I
start
broke
for
up
them. It's
Danica.
terrible.
Huh?
That's why he's
The one that
left.
called up with
He's
Danica.
on somewhere else.
Yeah, he left.
He was,
yeah,
he was really
playing
bad.
in-
He
playing
plays
league
for
with
Telford.
Alfred.
He plays in
Yeah, he
St.
does.
Curzon.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
yeah.
They've got some money, by the way.
Yeah,
for,
they do,
for the
yeah.
league there. It's absolutely, and they're absolutely crap as well. It's an absolute joke.
They're
They are professional, yeah.
professional,
Most of the teams in the National League North
You'd be
are
surprised.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a bit.
I'm getting to know it
standards
now.
going
I'm
up.
getting to know
There was
it.
only one team in the National League when Town won it last season that wasn't professional.
Altrincham.
And it was
Altrincham.
It was Altrincham. Yeah.
They've just gone pro, but then Dorking have come up and they're not professional.
Yeah.
Dorking are the team that have your boy.
They've got the
Geezer as the manager.
they've got the
they-
bunch
he
of
got done.
amateurs.
He got
Yeah.
done for something.
Oh, is
didn't
that
he?
them?
Oh, have you seen
Yeah,
that?
the ones on TikTok.
Yeah. And they got that Alfie Roberts.
Yes,
He-
they do,
he-
Alfie, yeah,
he's
he's
just.
good.
I think he's had some kind of surgery or something. I think he had a heart problem or something like that.
There's been loads of stuff like that recently, hasn't there? It's been
It's a
bad.
bit-
Yeah, well, we just saw him weapon
Yeah.
yesterday, having a hereditary heart
Do you know what I mean?
condition.
It feels like it's all come out at once, so it's strange, isn't it? I feel like
It's
because-
like the people in the crowd. It seems like someone.
It's
Yeah.
because it's starting to take more notice of it. That's why.
Yeah.
Because it's happens to one person, they've gone, all right, we should probably try and check it more, and now they've done it more. It's like,
I
it's
also think as well,
happening
with,
more. That's
with this
what
whole
it is.
COVID vaccine, you've something to blame it on if it does happen.
You're not going there.
I'm not going there, but
This is a football podcast.
Speaking of that, I do want to point
It's
out
getting too
is he
political.
Mark Cotterill?
Are you about to mention what I just said when Mark Cotterill commented on?
We all know what this is from.
Yes, and it was hereditary heart conditions.
Oh yeah.
So if any of you don't know what hereditary
he's an
means, it
idiot,
means
man.
it's passed on to you
Yeah.
from fellow generations. It means it'll be passed on from you as well. So you haven't just picked it up because of the COVID vaccine. Yeah, that's exactly what I was just going to
Such a melon.
Yeah, that is
What
got to
an
be one of the
idiot. What a
silliest
mess.
things ever. Like, he's got a blue tick. Hashtag get rid of Mark Cotterill's blue tick.
Yeah.
Hashtag Mark Cotterill
And Toby Cox Sports.
Toby Cox
And
and
Toby
Toby
Cox.
And Ethan Ball, whatever.
Media.
it is.
No,
Ethan
he's
Ball
not
Media.
verified.
Is he not? I'm not even, to be fair, so what can I say?
Neither am I.
Yeah, we've got some verified brothers over there. And
Yeah,
some,
that's the
some
only reason.
non-over
That's the
here.
only reason Rhys got in the
Trying, just getting the
That's
right.
the only reason I'm still here.
Right. Well, we talked about Manchester United. We talked about Everton.
I forgot we were talking about that.
Oh yeah, we're on a podcast.
Sorry.
I don't think this defeat will have a massive effect on your season. Though.
no.
It won't at all.
No.
It won't at all.
Here's
It
the
won't
thing.
at all.
Here's the thing,
It's
right?
almost a positive result for Everton.
No, it is because what I'm saying was we'd have lost that 4-0 last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you play
In the
badly,
second half, we
only
could have
just
beat you.
lose.
Oh, that last 10 minutes when you had like 9 set pieces in a row, I
should
was
have beat you. We got some
nervous.
set
I was
pieces.
nervous.
What an header from Varane.
His first
Oh,
touch of the
yeah.
ball.
When he just
Rolls
flicks it
Royce,
off.
mate.
Oh, if Pickford had scored. Oh, that's what I was going to say.
I'd have actually
Sorry.
celebrated.
Sorry.
What?
You've actually
Sorry.
celebrated your team scoring.
Yeah.
If I could pick one keeper right now at United, I'd have Pickford. I think
Oh, yeah,
realistically.
I'd have like Diogo Costa.
Yeah, but like I'm not being funny. Pickford, you can
Or
get
Robert
at
Sanchez.
27, going into his prime as a
So
goalkeeper,
good,
man.
and he is probably been. I reckon he's got a case for being the best keeper in the league this season. So far. Seriously, everyone.
Alisson.
No.
Al-
If you're going to pick either of them,
You're
you'd pick
joking?
You'd pick
Liverpool
Ederson.
was so much further down the table. It wasn't for Alisson.
It's-
Alisson
they're
has been
10th.
one of Liverpool.
They are
No,
10th.
but they would
are
be so much.
They've
they'd be
conceded
so
about
much.
16 goals. We've conceded 9 or
I-
6.
Oh, no,
I-
I'm not.
Same.
Yeah.
I would.
Mistake.
I think in your top three, you'd have Nick Pope and Pickford.
I was literally
and
gonna
I
say
think
that.
the other one would be.
Not even being biased, I think that's
It would be the
generally
other one. That's a good debate. It was the other one.
De Gea. Jogan.
Yeah,
Came off. To be fair, he was very good. He was very good on Sunday.
he was good.
Came off his
Yeah,
line.
because he normally has a horrible game against
Yeah.
us, doesn't he? But he chose. He saved.
It's
his
'cause-
best
No,
game.
it's
it was
'cause
uncharacteristic of De Gea to come off his line, sweep. But
Do you know-
actually, the pass was
because he
good.
wants
You know
his
what it's
contract.
uncharacteristic of De Gea to have, mate? A good game, and he did. So
Yeah.
that was frustrating, and I hated it. But other than that,
I can't
let's
think of
move on.
anything.
Let's move on for Everton. It won't ruin us. We've got a tough run of games. We've got Spurs away, then we've got you. After
we?
them 2 games, we've got some good games. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
We'll
You'll be
finish
fine.
like
Of course we'll be
9th.
fine.
And that's great after
Oh,
almost going down.
no.
Right, going from the blue side of Merseyside to the red side of Merseyside, Liverpool this weekend picked up another defeat of the season.
Get in.
That was
Get in.
That was incredible. Right.
Moving on, right.
Right. How bad is Trent Alexander-Arnold?
Hey, right.
he's
I'm
crap.
not gonna lie.
I'm not saying that.
He cannot defend. He cannot. But he is not a bad footballer.
No, he's not. No,
I-
we're not calling him a bad footballer.
Not bad football. It's a bad fullback.
He's a bad defender.
He's a bad defender.
I
And
said
the thing is,
this in
he's a
group
bad
chat because
fullback.
if he's a defender, he still has to defend. Otherwise, he'd be putting centre mids in goal. Because, like I said,
Yeah.
they're good on the ball. You know
And
what I mean?
the
So
nice
a
thing-
goalkeeper still has to save the shots, and a defender still has to
I
defend.
also think
I still
it
think Trent's
goes
obviously an incredible
under the radar because it is also well documented. But goes under the radar because everyone picks on Trent. And I'm not
He's
saying.
like Maguire. He's a scapegoat.
Yeah, he is. But Van Dijk, obviously Konate's been injured, and Gomez and Matip's been injured. They have been
Dijk's
poor. They
I
have
want a
been
word on
really
Van Dijk,
poor.
right? I tweet this out. Whenever Van Dijk flattens someone, he goes, "Oh, you all right,
doesn't.
mate? Are you all right? Yeah, how are you?" Like he flattened Jesus. Like, why would you go over to the forward and be like, "Are you all right?"
He's a funny mate. He's
Like,
scared of
why?
ruining. He's scared of ruining his hair for Eddie.
No.
I honestly, I know he's a big joker now, but I think when Pickford cleaned it up, it sort of finished him a little bit.
Yeah,
really,
good lad, I say.
Because you
Almost
can't.
scared him to get in physical duels.
You
Almost.
can't ever be
The same.
the player you. I mean, speaking of Liverpool, Fernando Torres, what a player he was till he tore his ACL.
Shane
And he-
Coleman,
he-
Andre Gomez for us.
they-
Both
they
of them
just-
broke legs.
you
Coleman's
can't
amazing.
play at that intensity because you're going to be scared of
He
it
is.
happening
That's
again.
right.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
are going to be.
yeah.
And Van
Clear
Dijk
path.
is a fantastic player. He
I
is a
know,
great
of course he
player.
is. Rolls Royce, but-
I think Trent looks so poor because he's been so poor.
No, I
Because
think
you
you're
always-
noticing Trent more. He was still poor defending last season, but
He
you didn't
was.
notice as much because it didn't happen every
Well,
time.
Mata
There was
plays on
1-1.
Trent's side. Mata plays on the right side. Van Dijk plays on Robertson's side.
Well,
Van Dijk plays on the left side.
If Gomez has been playing though, hasn't he?
Well,
And
they're all
he's
playing
just not
everywhere
been
at the
good.
minute.
Yeah,
Well,
that is
to
true.
be
Yeah.
fair, to be fair to Gomez, he came on in the second half, and Martinelli wasn't as dangerous as he was in the first half.
What a player he is.
Yeah, but
Martinelli
he still
had a very,
dealt-
very good
No, he
game,
did. Yeah,
though,
I'm still
yeah.
saying he's like best player on the pitch.
He has just found another level this season. Martinelli has.
Didn't realise he was that quick.
It was not even that. It's like I
he's
thought he'd be a little bit of a Theo Walcott. You know, he's a good player. He's nothing more than good, but he looks
good-
like
he's
he
good
could be a
finisher as well.
serious player.
That's the thing that he lacked last season was the cutting edge in front of goal. He really lacked the numbers, and this year he's getting the numbers.
His
he's getting
involvement
goals
for
and
the
getting assists.
Saka's first.
I
was
think
brilliant.
one
So,
thing-
I know it was poor defending, but
I think Arsenal fans, and I'm always going to say this as a United fan, I think they need majorly humbling.
Oh,
You've got to
yeah.
remember they
Yeah,
are
they're
playing
horrible.
at their absolute peak right now. There is not a club playing. I don't think City are 100% yet. They concede
not.
a lot of
They're
goals,
close.
and
They're close,
but
but-
Arsenal, they're in fifth gear.
This
They're
is
not
the best
gonna-
they'll be, I
This is the
think. I don't
best
think
they'll
they'll
be.
get
If-
there, yes.
And we've seen it before, like with Mason's Leicester. They stayed at that fifth gear the whole season when they won it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really happen. And it's like when I was watching the
Very
derby,
rare.
the North London derby, and you sort of watch Spurs and you think they've got 3 or 4 levels above this. And you saw it because they got battered. Obviously, Emerson did what he did, but they have still got 3 or 4 levels to find. Chelsea have still got 3 or 4 levels. United have still got 3 or 4 levels to find.
5-6 levels.
And I feel like if these teams can sort of get it in gear and find this standard, Arsenal are not going to look like the side
difference
that they are
is-
right now.
Arsenal are at their best right now, but
That's
as soon as they
really
start
good,
dropping
spot
off,
on.
they'll drop points. But with City, when they're at the best, obviously they win. But when they're not the best, they
They
still
still
win.
win, yeah.
So
Yes,
it's like
yes.
it's
So
like
it's kind of a good team. If you're having a bad day and you still win,
but
you're a good team.
if Arsenal don't play well, they very rarely win.
Well, it's like against United, wasn't it? City would have won that game if they
Yeah.
played
Oh,
against
They
United.
very,
You
very
won.
rarely win.
Yeah.
That was just an Arteta implosion.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it
Him
was.
making them 3 substitutions at 2.
He had a
just-
meltdown, didn't he?
Yeah, he just lost it. But that was him. He did it against you last game of the season against Newcastle.
That
That
was
was
just
just.
He's still
Yes.
maturing as a coach, isn't
Yeah,
he?
he's
He'll
young
get
coach.
there. He
And-
will. He's a good coach.
But he's a good coach.
He's a great coach,
He,
yeah, he's
he
very
definitely won the
Against
the
us, he
old
just got it wrong from the
Solskjaer, Arteta, Lampard debate, hadn't they?
No.
Constantly
Oh,
trying to
sorry.
make him.
I saw something on Twitter. I thought it was very funny. It was like obviously because he was Pep's little right hand man. I saw something that was like Pep got so bored of winning the league, he created another.
I love that tweet.
Yeah,
So
I
he
love
created
it.
another manager
Very
to
good
test him. But our tennis system is a little bit more different to Pep's. It's more take risks. It's more that
No, he
individual.
definitely took some from it. though.
Oh no, it is.
100%.
The basics are there. The fundamentals are of Pep's style, but Arteta's tweaked it, and it's a little bit more about individual brilliance. You know, like someone's allowed to have a go.
Yeah,
Speaks
because
to
they've
who
not
he's
got the
got.
they've not got the
And it's a
players
little
to
bit
do
more.
that.
I
They
think
ain't
it's a
got the
little bit more.
quality.
I think
That's why.
I agreed, and I think that's credit to Arteta knowing when he has in front of him, when
Yeah.
he can force
It's
his
good
system on
coaching.
the score.
Yeah, but what I
They
like
don't-
about
they don't have it
he
yet.
sort of altered how Pep played his free as well, because when City have the ball, it's a free in defence, isn't it? And
Yeah.
Rodri drops.
It's like a
but instead of that-
3-2-5.
yeah, but instead of that, Zinchenko goes forward and Xhaka fills in at left back often, doesn't he?
What a season he's had.
Do you know what I mean?
Well,
It's not
Xhaka's
instead of
been a
half
lot
drops
for Liverpool
forward,
this year
yeah.
as well.
He's been good.
He's been so good.
But where they've changed
That
it,
left half basically picks up.
where they've changed it from
Positions he
last
gets himself
year,
into.
they can defend. They've come out of nowhere. They've brought
Saliba,
William
innit?
Saliba out of nowhere, and he's been the best centre back in the league this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
He's
think
been fantastic.
Yeah.
And,
Very good.
and Ramsdale, he's not as good as Pickford. I'll make that claim right now. I'd still rather have Pickford in the English
Obviously,
side.
yeah.
But
Agreed.
but he's a great keeper. He is a
Yeah.
good keeper. You've got Ben White, who's coming at right back and been brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, you've got Tierney, Zinchenko, whoever you're playing there. They're both
Or
quality.
even Tomiyasu on
Yeah,
the
that's
left.
Tommy Yasu. He had a great
And then-
game.
Both Tomiyasu and Ben White, sorry to interrupt, but because they're both so good defensively, when they go into that back three and they transition forward, and when they're attacking, he tucks into the back three. Both of them tuck into it perfectly, so they're the perfect player to play there. But also Ben White's quite good going forward as well, surprisingly.
Yeah, he took who did he take on at the weekend? He sort of put it through someone's legs, did he, on down the right channel?
Was it
That's
Simicast?
Simicast,
Yeah, I thought it was
that
Simicast,
brilliant.
yeah.
That, yeah, I like that. To be fair, a bit of confidence.
Simcast,
from
by the
him.
way, greasy little man. Proper greasy.
He's saying that because he's from Greece, okay?
Yeah, greasy little bloke.
Is that worse or better?
I think you've made that work.
I think you made that word. That's not what I meant. I meant it's just greasy.
I didn't say that.
Is that 'cause of his
Basically,
man bun?
Jamie thinks that
Yeah,
everyone
greasy.
from Greece.
My best friend back home's from Greek. Owns a Greek,
Oh,
owns a,
Greek.
owns a Greek
From
restaurant.
Does he? What's it called?
Delacus.
Don't go to the because you get.
Whoa! Whoa! How dare you?
I'm joking, girl.
Yeah, 5-star. It's actually 5-star. It's the highest. It's the top.
What hygiene
It's
rating?
the highest
The
rated
best
restaurant.
ever
Is it
Greek
Michelin
restaurant.
star?
The highest rated restaurant in Fermanagh.
Whoa.
Thanks, mate.
I don't
How
know- I
many-
don't know
how
if
many
I'll
I
be
should-
sure to visit
How many
whenever I go
restaurants
where
is
you're
he from?
from.
What did you say?
Two?
I'm gonna go
30.
there.
30.
Right, go on. What were you saying?
Oh,
on.
yeah, right.
Go on.
I was going to say that I think Gabriel's the weakest of the back four. I'm
Yeah,
not,
he's
I'm
not
not
at
a
all.
fan.
I think so.
Arsenal moving forward have to get a left centre back.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I mean,
Seven said Gabriel's their best defender.
not even
Oh,
close.
no.
I would
Oh,
say...
man.
I'm not out you here, Seven. That's exactly what you
I
said.
would say he's been the worst. I think he's rash. I think...
He said-
He's a liability. He's
I
a
think-
he said
Gabriel's
Saliba-
head a little bit.
Gabriel isn't top 10 centre half in the league.
I
Saliba's
think-
one-
he said
one-
Saliba.
I think if they'd beaten us to Martinez, they'd be absolutely flying.
He
I
said
think Martinez...
Saliba, he's only
in
played
that
9
back
games.
four,
It's like
His
just
line breaking, his
no,
passing
he's just
ability. I
better.
honestly believe Martinez is one of the best on-the-ball defenders in the league.
He's good.
He is
He's
incredible.
Yeah.
His
the ball,
line
on
breaking
the ball,
pass.
yeah,
I don't
on the
know if
best
we've had, I don't know
On
if
the
his
ball,
line
yeah.
break. Oh yeah, I'm not calling him the best defender. I just think on the ball, his technical ability is incredible.
okay,
His
he's not
vision
on
for
top, man.
passing, his line breaking, his timing of pass. The
there
fact
ain't
he's
many like
left-footed.
him in the league.
There's none like him in the league. He's tiny.
To be fair, if he was 5'11", he would have scored.
Yeah,
I said,
he would've,
this
yeah.
to you.
No, he
would've
He had a
got
chance
that
for the ball
Haaland
come over and he,
Yeah.
if he was at least 5'11", he would have scored.
And
it.
Haaland would have scored that goal last week.
Honestly, doesn't bother me personally. I think
couldn't
if
care
you're a
less.
good enough footballer,
Yeah,
couldn't
but the
care
thing
less.
is, mate, if Calvert-Lewin would have been fit and started, I think we'd have given you a few more problems.
Yeah, but I'm not being funny. You look at Haaland last week. Yeah, he scored a hat trick, but he basically spent the whole. he basically.
He had a really good game. He had a conceded
No.
six.
I'm not saying no. That's not what I was going to say. I was going to say Haaland spent most of his game on
Won the second
Varane.
half.
Yeah.
He spent
He
most
did,
of his
yeah,
game.
he
He didn't
did, yeah.
actually
Yeah, 'cause
target
he's doing
Martinez.
side quests. He's bored.
No, it's not
Because
that.
Haaland
It's
is scared of Martinez.
just-
Oh, sorry.
Martinez
He
had
backpocketed
absolute-
him last year in the Champions League.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't really need to go from there.
Right, go on. He's talking to Varane.
Nah, take it away, mate. It's alright.
Right.
No, Varane. I think as good as he is, and he's quick, and he's proper champagne, isn't he? He's just
Right, yeah, he's Rolls Royce.
He's just Rolls Royce,
Yeah.
but he's
He's
done
cracked champagne bottles. He's always injured.
He
isn't
doesn't like a tackle.
No,
He
it's like
hates
Lindelof.
it.
Lindelof's scared of
It's
defenders.
like Van Dijk. He's scared of defending.
Yeah.
He's just a
Aura.
Singing away.
Get his defensive aura.
So Sally could wait. That's Van Dijk every game. Every game.
He's done it like 5 times this season, though, and they've
he
scored
does.
from all of them.
I swear, he
The
did that
Sancho-
against
the
United.
Sancho-
That's
no,
a TikTok
the
fans on
Sancho
the
goal is mad because Sancho actually gives him like 2 seconds to get forward. Because if Van Dijk does step up,
Well, he needs to
probably-
sprint out and make
he
himself big.
He blocks the shot.
Why has he not stepped out and made
He
himself
made
massive? He's
Sancho
giant.
look good.
Right,
He made me
Van-
believe
takes some
Sancho
doing
was
as well.
Van Dijk is like 6'3", very very long legs. He takes 2 yards. He's there. You know what I mean? He's like,
If he makes himself big, he blocks it, and the game's.
He stared at me and thought, if I stare at him for long enough.
Right,
he's
okay.
smouldering. He's
Smouldering. What's just smouldering for?
Actually, going back to Sancho, this is it's just something I saw on Thursday. Thursday when he played. It's such a boring start, but it was expected threat. And
not boring stuff.
out of
Against
the
the
whole
Yeah,
out of the
the thing.
whole
Yeah.
Manchester United squad, he had a lower expected threat on goal than David De Gea. He had the lowest.
Shut up.
He did. He had the lowest expected threat
How is that
on
a
goal.
boring start? That's
Right.
amazing.
So when we conceded, it was because Sancho was in the final third in the
And he
edge of the
didn't
box,
cross
and he
it.
turned around and gave it back to Malacia.
Oh yeah, I know which one you mean. Actually, yeah.
It's ammonia. Take the man on. It doesn't matter if he lose the ball. Just take the man on.
Oh,
He's so scared.
What a finish by that guy, by the way.
Yeah, it was good
Belter.
finish.
Such a good
Great
finish.
counter attack.
Limbs as well.
That Bruno who played for them, the striker, he was decent. I thought.
Best
I
Bruno
thought their
pitch, man.
goalkeeper
It
was
was the best.
good.
Yeah, Fabiano,
I
yeah.
thought their goalkeeper was great. But I really worry Sancho's not cut out to be a Premier League winner.
I don't think it's that. I think he's not cut out to be a Manchester United winger. United, we've got pace.
But where
We're
else
account-
can he thrive? Except
City.
for City. Yeah,
I
but
said-
he's not going to go to City now. is he?
He's not
He's
going
crap.
to, but I'm saying in a
That's right,
hypothetical. Arsenal. He'd be good in that Arsenal team. Or
I can see that.
or
I
what you
think
need
so.
to do there with him, because he's not quick. I don't know why. He just seems
God,
to
he's
he seems
slow,
to
isn't he?
have had his
Yeah.
legs cut off.
Short little legs, yeah.
But
Yeah.
move him in the middle. Technically, number
yeah.
10. He's a completely different number 10 to Bruno, but I think Bruno would thrive
don't-
more as an 8. I think Eriksen...
Yeah, but
He
then,
does-
then you can't play Eriksen. Can
Yeah,
you?
but the thing is, I don't think Eriksen would be the one you'd drop if you were going to try it. I
Who
think
would you
you'd-
drop him,
Bruno. I think.
Yeah,
I think,
you drop
I
him.
think he
I
is.
can't claim
he's,
he's
I
not
can't see
good
that's
enough,
ever
you know.
gonna
he's in
happen.
dire need of a rest. He plays every game. He's direct. He's long ball. It does my head in. It really does my head in. Because it's like that pass to Rashford, pinpoint. There's not another player on the pitch who could do it, but he'll try that 6 or 7 times and it'll come off once.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
It was our last game of the season last year against Crystal Palace. We lost 1-0, and it was one because it came off that goal because it was Zaha and he got the ball off a throw-in and just volleyed it back to goal.
He loves
for
it.
no reason. He
he's
saw
attention
Messi do it one time on Instagram and Danny Alves, when they used to do the volley passes to each other, and he went right and do that. But he does it all
exactly
the
what
time.
he
He does
did.
it all the time.
No, I love Bruno, and I think he's a cracking captain. I think he's a good bloke as well. But I just think he needs a break. He needs something to sort of recharge because he's not half the player he was 2 years ago.
Not the best Bruno in the league.
No, he's not. No, he's not. I think.
No, he's nowhere near.
You know what? I said it on Twitter the other day. I think we need to scrap best player outside the top six. But Bruno would be one of the best players inside the top six. He starts for every top six club. Bar City.
Yeah.
He'd be United's best midfielder. I really do think that. I think he's just brilliant.
That's mental to think about.
And I think he walks into that Arsenal team.
Walks into
They
Liverpool.
wanted him.
At the moment,
He would be
Liverpool.
Liverpool's best midfielder.
I'm surprised Chelsea didn't put a bid for him when they put in one for bloody Lavia from Southampton. Yeah, got desperate and chucked
15
I really
million for
think
him.
chucked
Bruno-
like 100 million or
Well,
something.
it came out yesterday that Bruno had a conversation with Real Madrid and he told him to do one because he wanted to be a legend at Newcastle. And that to me is just mental. They just said to Real Madrid.
I can't get my head around it.
I don't.
I feel like
Because of the
I feel like there's got to be
It's
something
one of
going
them things you
on.
have to say, innit?
There's got to be something going on, and then in a year and a half's time he'll be lacing up at the Bernabeu.
Yeah.
No, but listen, up the Etihad. He's the Gundogan.
Yeah.
He's the Gundogan.
Don't say that.
He's the
Please.
Gundogan.
It's the harsh reality, mate.
Yeah, he's the
You'll
Gundogan
sell him for like
replacement.
95 million.
What more than that?
Yeah,
Ramp it up. Get as much as you
No,
possibly
but
can.
I know you hate the term, but I think he is easily the best player outside the top six.
No,
But I
he
hate
is.
the arguments.
Of course he is.
I
Such a
understand the
terrible,
arguments, yeah.
such a
Of
terrible.
course he's the
I
best
hate
player
it as
outside
well.
the top
But I know
six.
what you both mean.
Because
but
there's
I
so
agree,
many
yeah.
players outside
Seamus
the top
Coleman does
six
exist,
that
plus,
could play in teams in the
Unfortunately.
top six.
Yeah.
Like James Ward-Prowse.
Zaha
He played
gets
for
it,
United. He played for Liverpool. James Ward-Prowse. He's
Zaha gets
Oh,
into you.
Zaha.
Oriol Romeo and James Will-Price were
I
a
love
better
Romeo.
double pivot than Scott McTominay.
Romeo
and
don't
Fred
even
everywhere.
play in the Premier League anymore.
Oh, they play a
Mad
4-4.
that, innit?
They play a 4-4-2.
He's moved. He's out in
My
Spain.
ball knowledge
Yeah.
is
That's why I played
horrendous.
him. And the replacement
Why the
Lavia
hell?
also very
Oh my
good.
god!
Injured, but very
A
good.
word on him, by the way.
Lavia.
Oh my god!
Unbelievable,
I
innit?
watched him.
Baller.
Last year.
He's injured at the minute, isn't
I
he?
went to
When he comes back from injury, he's going to be massive for us.
I went to City Wickham last year when he made his
I
debut.
went
mate.
to that as well.
He
Yeah.
was silly. He's such a
He
player.
looked like he was one of the first team.
I
He
didn't even
does.
realise that
Oh,
it's
he's
his
so
first
good.
ever start.
He's
I
not
was
as good as Ethan
bloody
Galbraith,
hell.
but
Does he still play for United?
He's at Salford,
He scored
yeah.
the
He
winner.
scored.
Did we release him?
No,
Or was he on loan?
He's on loan.
Was he the one who was at Charlton, or was it Dylan Levitt who was at Charlton?
No, he was at Doncaster.
Doncaster.
Ethan
Dylan
Galbraith
Levitt was at Charlton then.
Yeah.
I always get him mixed
Good,
up.
good that Galbraith. Played against
No,
Town.
Ethan
Good
Galbraith is really, really good.
He's Northern Irish, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Northern Irish. He
Good.
can play
You're
in
never going to get a look in at
He could
United.
play in the 6 or the 8. I honestly,
Most of them
I'm
were.
probably not.
There's
No.
so
You're good down the same
many.
pass as Garner, I think.
You got Charlie Savage and Zidane.
I totally agree. I think, yeah.
You're good at a Garner
I
pass.
actually think though Galbraith's ability to take the ball in the half turn. I've watched a lot of this. I've watched a lot of Galbraith.
Of course you have.
Yeah, his ability to take the ball in the half turn. He can dictate play. He was dictating play last season for Doncaster at 19.
He's your best ever player, isn't he? Northern Ireland.
Johnny Evans.
No, it's George.
Johnny Evans exists.
Come on.
Johnny Evans, George Best, Stephen.
He's just put Johnny Evans.
Stephen
and George
Davis.
Best in the
Obviously,
same-
George Best is the best.
Same conversation, Johnny Evans and
Oh,
Josh Best.
100%.
Who's better?
Johnny Evans is the best centre back of all time.
Ethan Galbraith.
Ethan Galbraith's up there. Like, he's going to be the
Has
reason.
he played for the first team?
Yeah.
Has he?
He came on when Savage came on.
He's captain, mate.
Savage. No, he hasn't played for United's first team.
No. Oh no, he
did.
He played in the Europa League.
He did when Brandon Williams and Mengi made their
when
debut.
we went to
Oh, I remember that,
Kazakhstan or
yeah.
something, yeah, and we lost. I can't remember who we lost to, but it
Yeah,
was like
but
an
it was
average
bad.
age squad of like 19.
And you
or
had
something
Jesse
like
Lingard as your captain.
that. Yeah,
And he scored.
Yeah, I was going to say, he thought he scored. Yeah,
Yeah, he
I do
did.
remember that, actually.
yeah.
It was a weird game. It was a weird period.
Right,
That
so
was when I thought Brandon Williams was better than Saka. I'm going to put that out there for everyone to wear. I really did. I honestly
This was
thought
both left backs.
when they were both playing
Yeah.
left
Oh,
back.
right, okay.
I was all over Brandon Williams. I thought, what a player he's going to be.
and they missed that sitter against Norwich, and that was it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so bad.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
so,
you know what?
so
I was
bad.
gutted when James Garner come on for you.
He looked good as well, didn't he?
Oh, what a
scored.
play!
Almost scored.
I think
Good
it was
footballer.
such a strange move to let him go.
For cheap as well,
Yeah.
15
mate.
million.
I think he could have easily got close to
Great
double
move.
that for him.
Well,
Like
you
at
should have done.
2021, coming off
I think Forest would have given
a
us double.
Champions
Yeah, you
League
would
Yeah, they would have.
Player of the Year like nominee campaign, and
He's good, mate, you know.
and
He's very good. He's very,
Lampard,
very
Lampard loves him, mate.
Ability to take the
I
ball.
can't believe that was his
His
first game.
loves
progression
him,
with the
mate.
ball
He's
is
not
really,
fit.
really good,
No.
especially coming back and taking off the back four, which is what we were crying out for last year because we couldn't link play between midfield and the defence. Garner would have solved.
I
I'm
thought
not saying
he'd
he would have
get a
solved
chance.
all them problems, but he would have been really, really good, effective for us.
Lampard loves him, mate. I'm excited to see him start some games.
Yeah.
And it's nice because he's got to just get to learn from as
I was
well.
going
all that
to say, who's he
experience.
come in for?
Idris
for
Gueye.
you?
He will
Idris
come
Gueye.
Just on the rotation for this season, probably.
Yeah,
You
that's
have
what
got
it is.
cracking
Idrissa
midfield.
Gate is his teacher essentially.
They have
isn't
got a
he?
good midfield.
I know. I
Great
couldn't be
midfield.
under
Oh.
a manager as well.
I don't know if you've brought this up before.
I'm a midfielder learning under Frank.
Go on,
Sorry, you know Ethan, the other Everton fan that we know.
E-ball media.
Well, claims to be an Everton fan. Cares more about the
San Francisco
Seattle
49ers.
Seahawks or
No,
whatever.
The
right.
Manchester Giants.
Yeah, the Manchester Giants.
Oh, I think
He
that's
reckons.
it.
He
Seattle
reckons.
Seahawks.
That's what I'm saying.
I think we've done this. I think we've done this.
He reckons your midfield.
Chelsea, yeah, we've done it.
What do you think?
I think all our midfielders are better apart from Kovacic.
What's this?
He reckons that their midfield three all start over Chelsea's midfield three.
As a free.
Apart from Kovacic.
As a free, yeah.
Onana starts.
Kovacic is
Iwobi
better.
right now starts, and Kovacic should be the
Yeah,
other.
that'd be
I
three
think
then for me.
Kovacic. But then, yeah, Kovacic starts over. Yeah,
Kovacic's
of
good,
course he
yeah,
does.
Kovacic's
Yeah, of course he
very
does.
good.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I can't believe we debated that, mate. But yeah.
As a
No,
free, I think guys is better. But if you're taking individuals from each, then Iwobi and Onana need to be in there.
Onana's one of the most underrated players in the league.
Oh no, I'm a big fan.
I think for me,
mate.
Can't
Danny
remember
Long,
underrated.
and he's got the longest legs.
Underrated
God.
episodes.
Someone get me a stat of that.
When Onana learns to head the ball, he'll be the most dangerous midfielder in the league, mate. Oh my god, he gets up for everything, beats everyone to everything. Just can't direct
That's like
it
Dan
yet.
Burn. He
Yeah,
can't. He
he'll
can't head the
learn.
ball.
He's 21. He'll
He's like
learn.
9'3".
Yeah, but he's still
That's
can't head the
what-
ball.
Right,
It's bad that
speak-
tall people can't head the ball, can they? Anyway,
Right,
carry on.
we're going to move on from one of the best players in the league currently in Alex
Onana.
Iwobi and Onana to the worst player in the league in Danny Ward.
Oh.
Has he got a bet on Leicester to go down? I think it's match fixing.
How's he even?
He's
He
got to
jumped
bet himself
over
to
the
get
ball.
shots.
He jumped over the ball. He jumped over the ball.
How
he
is
jumped
he-
over the
oh,
ball.
yeah,
He jumped over the
How
ball.
is he-
Have you seen both seen a goal?
Yeah, the Ryan Christie one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
How
He
is
jumped
he
over
a
the ball. He
Premier
jumped over the
League
ball. He
player?
jumped over the ball. He jumped over the ball.
But the thing is,
No, it's unforgivable. It's
no.
unforgivable.
I'm not.
Relegation zone for the worst player.
I'm
Danny Ward,
I'm
he's
not
down
gonna lie.
there.
Love you, Miggy.
You need to. He doesn't even deserve to be in the debate this season.
No, not this season.
No,
No,
not
no.
now.
He's been decent. No, but
It's a bit of a running podcast joke about the relegation for worst footballers in the
We'll get
Premier
on
League.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll get there because we will debate.
Yeah.
I think, as bad as Danny Ward's been, you've got to look at Leicester for not bringing a keeper in.
They're
I mean,
bringing
you let maybe,
Of course, yeah.
arguably, other than maybe Jamie Vardy, your biggest legend of the last 10 years,
Johnny
walk
Evans,
away. Yeah. No.
Yeah, he's got attitude problems or something.
What,
to me,
Kasper
hasn't he?
Schmeichel?
Yeah, from what I've heard.
Really?
He's leaving.
See it on
Nice in
Twitter,
January.
yeah, apparently he's getting sold in January.
Oh, fair enough. But
Leicester
anyway,
will be
I'm going to
20
continue
nil
my
for
point
them.
like I
This
ain't
is-
heard that.
Yeah, this is something we've talked about end on end on the
How
podcast.
can
One
you let a
episode.
player because he is good? He wasn't so good last year, but he's better than Danny Ward.
On the board.
Anyone's better than Danny Ward.
He really is.
Seven Tyler is better than
No,
you,
well.
me, you.
If they let Jakupovic come to us, he'd be a better keeper than
What,
Danny Ward's
what
doing.
about
Begovic.
what's it take
Yeah,
for
anyone.
What does it
Karius.
take for
Karius,
Daniel
isn't
Iverson to get a go?
He was on the
How
bench,
can
like-
Danny Ward be that bad?
He
and he's
must have
still
sent
in-
Brendan Rodgers' daughter's nudes or something.
He must have, honestly. I don't understand how he just hasn't, like, you look at, because Danny Ward's had 4-5 terrible games. Forget about it.
Right, yeah. So I just don't get it. He's
No,
just
wait,
so
wait,
bad.
wait.
He don't even start for Wales.
Does he not?
No, Hennessy starts.
Still,
God,
wow.
Funny as.
Just bring Hennessy in then.
He's still in Palace.
Thing
No,
is,
he's at where's he at? Forest.
Thing is,
Awful
they're,
bunch.
uh,
Oh, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he
the thing is, Leicester's back four is also horrendous. by the way.
Whoa.
Other than
that's
Big
the thing
John,
about
I
Vestergaard.
like Johnny.
Vestergaard was going to go to Fulham in the summer transfer window, but then they offered him lower, so he said, "Nah, do one." Then he played in the
That's
under
exactly what he
21s.
said.
He played in the under 21s at Leicester against Fulham. Fulham won 7-0.
I mean,
And he scored no
Where
goal.
was it? Wait. Leicester under 21 versus Fulham.
Leicester
first.
under 21s against Fulham under
Oh,
21s.
wow.
Oh,
Oh,
no!
wow.
Oh no!
7-0 Fulham.
Oh no!
And he started and played every minute, and I think he scored an goal as well.
Who would you put in your relegation of the relegation zone of Premier League players?
What now?
Rondon?
Rock bottom.
Rock bottom's
Cenk
Danny Ward.
Tosin.
Danny
Jason's
Ward.
not in
They're
it.
not in the Premier League.
Danny Ward. He's
Rondon's there.
he's long gone. He's Derby in 2008. He's
He's already relegated.
7 points.
He's already
off.
down.
He fully is.
he,
Yeah,
he,
Rondon's
can't,
in
he
there.
can't even redeem his season for me. I think
No,
he's
that's
he's
it.
done.
He's down there.
Harry Maguire.
No. Come on. Mike.
No. Did you not see me get loads of crap on Twitter for saying he'd be good in the back three?
Yeah.
Of course he'd be good in the back
Actually,
three.
can we talk about my hot take on Nottingham Forest?
What was it?
Okay, yeah.
About
It's not even hot. It's
signing.
factual.
I literally said
Mild.
Oh, no, sorry, yeah, you got lots of shit for this.
signing 22 players. Essentially, it's going to be really difficult to stay up because
how do
you gel that many?
Spot on,
Well,
mate.
people get
course
so
it
angry,
is.
but anyone with a brain just knows. They come
We
with
said this
22
before.
new
We
people
said-
in a
we
room
said
and
this
just
before.
expect them to play well.
Because I compared
Because they're all
Fulham.
really
I
good.
compared it
It's
to
like FIFA
Fulham.
career
Yeah,
mode.
they've
There's
last Fulham
evidence.
like 2 years
There's
ago, yeah.
literal evidence of it happening. Everyone's like,
It's like
mate.
Fulham on crack.
Do you know what's crazy? Do you know what's crazy? Forest signed all these players, and we're still starting the back four, which included Steve Cook and Scott McKenna.
McKenna's good.
The thing is,
Steve Cook's relegation zone.
Yeah, Steve Cook's
Joe
down.
Worrell's down there
Can
as
you
well.
believe Steve Cook's 31 years of age?
Is that it?
Yeah, he's
I
not
thought he was
38.
39.
Yeah, he's not 31. Steve Cook.
remember that save he did?
Yes.
That was
A
quality.
big dive.
He
that was
started
that
walking off straight away. He was like, yeah.
Pretty sure it wasn't even going in.
No, it wasn't.
Imagine that. Oh, God.
Yeah, no. And since I put that tweet out, I won a game. So
Yeah, you were spot on, mate. Why don't you just reply to everyone that give you shit?
I can't
I'll
wait for the end of the
bookmark it
season.
all to the end of the
terrible.
season
I
when
can't
they come
wait for
bottom.
the end of the season.
Yeah.
I think we should all just jump in and start berating everyone.
I'm surprised to give Steve Cook a new
Steve Cooper,
Steve
that's
Cooper.
muggy in my
Contract,
opinion.
yeah.
Steve
No,
Cooper's
I've
manager.
got time for it. I actually
You feel
do.
better.
I like Steve Cooper. I think
Agreed,
he's a good manager.
agreed.
I do, but
Agreed.
you didn't need to give him a contract.
No, you didn't.
No, especially for 5 years.
Yeah, but
you
I'm not
could have
being
just
funny.
you could have
Is it
extended it for like
5
a year or
years?
something.
No.
He'll get a massive
way.
payout at the end of it
it's
as well
not-
because
it's
they
not
will
25.
sack him.
It's 3
They'll
years.
sack
not
The thing
five.
is, you look at
It's 3 years,
Forest. You look at I mean, they are a big club.
Wow.
You know, like our Newcastle.
They were a big club.
But
You
they
know
are,
what
yeah,
I mean?
they're a big
But,
club, but not like big club.
But who are they going to bring in the manager market right now? Who are they going to tempt?
No
in?
one's going to touch
That
that.
is-
Rafa.
Who's going to want to
Rafa.
take over a team that has signed 22 players for 230 million? None of them that they've signed. That the manager who signed them can't
None
even
of them
get
have done well.
playing.
They need a
I
Sam
mean,
Allardyce.
their marquee signing
There
was no
Morgan
way-
Gibbs
Steve
White.
Bruce is free.
There was
Morgan
no way
Gibbs-
Cooper wanted all of them.
No, Morgan.
I think Cooper.
Well,
Cooper only
yeah.
wanted like 8, and then he was like, "Yeah, Forest needed a lot because obviously
Well, they lost a
suddenly
lot.
lost. Yeah, and they lost a lot. But Cooper only wanted to fill the squad. That's it. If you had him starting the season with 20 players, he'd be way better off than signing the 22 that he didn't start the season with about 40.
Their owners are
Mental.
questionable guy.
Olympiacos.
Marinakis or whatever.
Marinakis,
his name. He's
Because he sacked that Olympiacos manager. after like
Yeah,
Carlos
years or
Corb.
something,
Yeah, but
Corb,
it was weird because obviously Forest played Huddersfield in the playoff final.
Yeah.
They had them 2 dodgy penalties Huddersfield did that both should have been. I know we all hate Huddersfield here, but they both should have been penalties. And then Forest go and sign Toffolo and O'Brien, who were their best players, and then Corberan goes to Olympiacos, and they're all owned by Marinakis, who's also. Like, he's had plenty of allegations in the past. I'm
He
not
has.
saying
No,
anything's happened, but he's had
No, yeah,
plenty
no,
of
that's-
allegations.
yeah,
against
allegedly.
him.
That's not
Yeah,
what I'm saying. No,
allegedly.
he has
Yeah,
he had allegations.
And
yeah.
and it's just a bit. It's a bit weird, isn't it? It is a bit
They
weird.
signed James Rodriguez as well, didn't they?
I think O'Brien's been
Marcelo.
very good for Forest.
And Josh Bowler as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Josh Bowler.
Josh Bowler.
but then it's the same as him with that Huang Gui Zhou, the one they got from
Yeah,
Bordeaux.
yeah.
They're both Forest players. Bowler and
Yeah, they are.
they signed for Forest, and
Yeah.
then same day
just
straight
chuck
off to
'em there,
Olympiacos. And they're having a terrible season as well. Olympiacos are. I don't
Well,
know.
it's just similar to what
yeah.
Chelsea do with all their loanies. They sign players and then chuck them to Vitesse.
They haven't really done that for a while.
No, they haven't because of rules change.
Yeah,
It's
they
like
got-
Brighton. Brighton in that Belgium club.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Brighton signed some
I
players
love
in
Brighton.
They don't-
I mean, I don't like them because they beat us, but what a team.
So well, right.
Oh.
You can't hate them.
I love them more with Potter, but I still like them. 'cause
One
of the
thing on Brighton,
I think he'll become
actually,
likeable as well.
how
Yes,
on earth
agreed.
we passed up on Moises Caicedo for $4.5 million?
So good, man.
It is.
He's
Oh my god!
He's so
We were linked with him in the summer for 40, and the year before he goes for 4.5, and we had it all agreed with him.
That's all Brighton though. Brighton are just so
4.5 is a
smart.
low risk move. Just sign him. Just sign him. Just
not-
buy the
it's
player.
pennies, isn't
buy
it?
the man.
Pennies.
That's
Yeah.
FPL money.
It's pennies.
cheap in FPL. Actually, if he's cheap on FPL, he must be cheap in real life. You know what I mean? Like if
Yeah, that's how it works, yeah.
4.5 million is cheap in FPL. You sign him in real life.
What a play though.
Yeah, get me on the board. That's how it works.
Yeah, sure, mate. Yeah.
No, I can't believe. Well, it's like Ollie wanting Haaland and Bellingham when Haaland was
it
at
was-
Salzburg.
Oh, no, that's happened to a lot of
And
people now.
Bellingham.
Oh, yeah,
was
we
it
saw
Roy
Bellingham?
Hodgson wanted Haaland.
We had
Didn't
Haaland on
happen.
trial at 18, but
No,
he
no,
wasn't
no, but
strong
Ollie had
enough.
back him because Ollie was
Yeah,
molded
I
with
get
Haaland.
it.
Ollie was set on Haaland.
No,
I hope we signed Bellingham.
But you
really
don't sign players from not well-known clubs. That just doesn't happen.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah, because the fans would go mad.
Yeah.
it
would.
You got the most
yeah.
fickle fan base.
It's,
in the
it's
league.
like right. It's like when we went in for Arnautovic this year. I actually think Arnautovic would have been a good signing.
That was so funny.
It wouldn't have been a good signing, but he
Morally, I feel like
Oh,
that's like.
yes, as a human being, he's not an amazing person. Yeah, I'll agree. But we're not going to get into that because it is a football podcast, not a humanitarian podcast.
After talking about, let's not get political, but COVID is the main cause of all the heart problems.
No one said that. No one said that. No one said that.
Allegedly.
No one
You
said
and Gary
that.
Cotterill teamed up for that one, mate.
No, I disagree with him.
No.
Don't put words in my mouth. Right.
Okay.
Will we finish with ball or no ball?
All right.
I've got a couple from TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah, we won 5-1 as well. Just saying. No one
Oh, yeah.
cares, but we won.
Yeah,
5-1.
Newcastle won 5-1. Tom's got a lovely Newcastle shirt on there. Just show it
I
off.
can't see it because of the whiteboard, but
What's AOF made?
Out of football.
Oh, fair enough, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, Newcastle played very well. Congrats to them.
We're class.
Uh,
We're 7th. That's
I
pretty
don't,
much it.
I don't like Newcastle.
You don't like them?
I'm so
hate
sorry to hear that, mate.
Newcastle.
Oh, sorry, mate.
I don't even know why.
I'm sorry,
I just
mate.
love laughing at Toby when they lose.
Yeah, that's the thing, innit? Yeah. Right.
Yeah, which is class, but
Ball, no
I have
balls.
none on the Twitter, by the way.
Yeah, Keg got someone from TikTok apparently.
Ooh.
You didn't know Keg's got a good following on TikTok, so if you want to go follow him,
MCK Sports.
MCK Sports.
And follow the Forum on podcast. That's more important than.
Can we talk about how Almiron is now not in the relegation zone while you try and get these
Yeah,
up?
we talked about that. We said that.
Yeah, but he's better than... He's like,
But
he's like,
Jack Grealish is down there for me.
No. Come on, mate.
no.
No, he's quality.
Come on, mate.
And you're
Come
never
on,
coming back
come
on again.
No,
That
no,
is-
no.
That's
No, no,
that's
no, no.
the
Let
worst
me-
thing anyone's ever said in the
No, let me
podcast
explain.
ever.
Let me explain myself. Let me explain
You
myself.
can't.
No, let me explain myself. I don't mean he should be relegated from the Premier League. What I mean is how he can turn around
even
and give
half.
that shit. No, listen. How he can turn around and give that shit to Almiron, and
Yeah, but
and,
it's just banter. It
was a
doesn't
joke.
matter.
He
Like,
had a couple of beers in him. Just saying stuff all
He
the
was
time.
smashed.
all right,
I hate
okay,
Almiron,
okay.
but I hate
He's been the most underwhelming player.
No, he's good.
No, he
Good this
hasn't.
season.
No,
Yeah,
since he signed for City for 100 million, would you class that as too
Mate,
much money,
mate,
underwhelming?
listen.
All right, no, for 100 million,
Mate.
what they've signed him for, would you be whelmed,
That's not his
underwhelmed?
fault.
All right, I'm going to combat you with a
overwhelmed?
point here. What happens with Guardiola signings is they need a year. He's had his year, and this year he's come in and he's been better. Sorry,
no, we're
Go
good.
on.
We're good.
I was just saying that Grealish is not giving you the goals and assists, but he's had his year where Pep moulds you, and then this season's been so good. You look at his underlying stats and stuff, I know it's dead nerdy,
Yeah.
but he's been so good.
Fair
He
enough.
just needs the goal.
I just think maybe it's the way that Man United players get judged for the price. I sort of think no one ever,
Yeah, 'cause
not
we-
to the extent,
'cause it's
ever
not the
brings
tr-
up
it's not
that
the
he
trust,
costs
Oh
though,
no,
is there?
I kind of disagree. I think people bring up Jack Grealish' price a lot.
not compared to like
Anytime
Harry
Jack Grealish is brought
Maguire.
up- anytime Jack Grealish is brought up in a conversation, it's he's 100 million. He's
100
a
million,
twelve.
one goal, one assist or whatever.
I
yeah.
made a video about like the worst
Fair enough.
signings of all time, and all the comments were, Jack Grealish, even though he's clearly not the worst signing of all
No,
time.
I do like I like Jack Grealish. He's a good player, and
The transfer thing is not his fault. Like, it's not his fault.
no, I know that, but I still think he's been relatively underwhelming.
No, last season, yes. This season, no.
I
Depends
feel
what
like
you were expecting from him.
a
I
lot.
thought he was
You can't
absolutely,
expect-
no,
I
what
thought he
are
was
you
absolutely
expecting?
phenomenal.
I
in
was
Manchester
expecting
Derby.
a
You
lot.
can't loads of goals and assists.
No,
That's
no,
not
no.
him.
Yeah, you
but
can't expect goals and assists,
I don't
mate.
necessarily mean goals
Because-
and assists, but I thought last season he was just genuinely poor.
At Villa, mate,
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
the main man. Everything went
No,
through.
100%.
If they didn't
But
play
he didn't-
Grealish, they'd lose every game.
He didn't put up stats like that at Villa. That's not what I mean.
He put
I
up
just
better
thought-
stats, though.
Yeah, he did. But what I'm saying is, I just think generally he was quite poor last year. I just don't.
He
think
was poor
very
last year,
good.
'cause he was getting-
and that's what
'cause
I
that
mean
was his
by-
year.
What I mean is, he was underwhelming.
Mate, Rodri was terrible in his first year. He's the best holding midfielder in the world now.
100%. I'm a big fan. Ethan Ball Media's met Rodri. Had a haircut with him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that picture. And Ethan Ball's still bigger than Rodri. Rodri's a big lad, by the way. Ethan Ball was a giant.
Oh, big.
A
A
Manchester
Manchester
giant.
Quality.
Right, I've got them. I've got some
What?
unpopular opinions. I got some unpopular opinions. I lost them, but I got them.
I love him, popular
Right.
That's really good. by the
Welcome
way.
to Ball or No Ball. Right.
Nice Yeah.
This
Just
first one
kissed my
is
brain.
from Malik Tillman.
I
want-
like
I
that.
Thank you,
know.
Malik.
It's an odd one. He
Oh,
said,
the TikTok one.
Willian is one of the most underrated Prem
No.
players of all time.
No.
No, right, move on.
Awful.
We'll talk about
No,
How
no.
can you say that?
Actually, Willian had like
Two
one.
good
No,
years.
he had a couple of good seasons at Chelsea.
Good,
he had,
not great.
He had 2 good games for Arsenal, and
Yeah,
I forgot
he
he
did.
signed for Fulham.
I was just about
And
to say
that's
this.
about all I've got
By
to
the
say.
Fulham, innit?
Yeah. By the way, he plays for Fulham.
Yeah, that's about all I've
Is he
got
not
to say. on him.
34 now or something?
He had his debut
I
where he
don't
got 3 assists for Arsenal. I think other than that,
Willian
he was-
has never ever been near one of the best wingers in the Premier League.
I
He's
think-
never
No.
even been
No.
close.
But
He's
he
never even
had
been close.
1 or 2 decent seasons at Chelsea.
Yeah, but
He
in
did.
his good
Like
years.
you know when he was
Those were when Chelsea
you know
were
when he
doing
was
well.
like
That's what I was saying.
perpetually linked with Man United.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
just could not get away with Man United being linked with Willian when we had Jose. Those 2 seasons, he was decent. And he had that season where he was better than Hazard. You know when Hazard absolutely
That
shit
one
the
season,
That
yeah.
was
That
Well,
one season where Leicester won the league.
When all the
Yeah,
Hazard
yeah.
memes were him
Willian,
ghosting.
well,
yeah.
Willian was good then. I thought.
Good, not great. Not
Yeah, no, he's not-
worthy of
he's
being
not
called.
under-
Not underrated.
He's underrated. No, good move on for that one. I'm not-
Has he ever finished a season as being one of the best wingers in the
No.
league?
No.
Has he ever had a season where he's been the best
How
winger?
far is he from Christian Pulisic? Not very far.
No, I agree. I
Not far.
agree.
He's not.
No,
He's
he's
not that
actually
far.
That is a
True.
fabulous shot. That is,
And
not.
Pulisic is
as
crap,
analogies go, that's
I like that.
I like that one as well. That was yeah.
Look how happy
Right,
he is.
I've got another one as well, and we could answer this one really quickly, but I'd like us to talk about it a little bit in depth.
Okay.
Are Arsenal? This comes from Arthur. Said Arsenal are genuine title contenders.
No, not for me. I just hate Arsenal though, so I'm sort
No,
of
but
biased
only
there.
because City exist.
Yeah.
No, right. So
Yeah.
every league there's a title contender. There's at least two. Like even if you are miles away,
Yeah,
you're still
City
in the
versus
conversation.
who?
Yeah. So I think this year it is City versus Arsenal.
Yeah.
But it's not.
But
because
Arsenal will finish third. They won't finish
it
second.
was City versus
You
United
finished
3
second.
seasons
It
ago.
won't. In
and we
2
went
months, it
second.
won't be
We-
after the World Cup. Will it?
We can keep right. I'm gonna. This is what I equate it to in my head. In
Great word.
2018-19, we went into Christmas top of the league. Pogba back on form.
Yeah.
We-
Pogba, some of the
Ollie's
best
at the
numbers.
wheel. Love it. We finished 19 points behind City and we were second. 19
They are
points.
machines, man.
Liverpool went into Christmas one time. I think they were 11 points clear of City. City won the league by like 4 points.
And that's just City. There's no
Relentless,
team.
mate.
There's no team for years that have been as dominant and as just brilliant as what they are.
And they have so many plan Bs. If Haaland goes and snaps his leg and doesn't play another game for the rest of the season, they'll still win the league.
They scored 100
They'll
goals last year without
they'll
a striker.
still win the league.
Mad, innit?
It's a joke.
They'll
We had like 4 players that got over 10 goals. Mad.
Yeah.
Mental.
And that's just it. I think Arsenal are a good side. I'm not going to say
Very good,
They
very
are.
well
They're
coached.
playing really well. They're coached well, as we've said.
But
They haven't got that killer instinct.
That's what we were saying,
They're
yeah.
losing to United.
They've not got one player on the pitch better than any of City's.
They're
So they're not
losing.
gonna
They're
win the league.
losing to United. Like we are in, like
Yeah,
we're better
City-
than we've been.
City
but
would
we're
have-
poor.
Are you
Well,
sure?
The wheels are moving, but it's still in first
And then
gear.
City go and spank us 6-3.
I would argue that Saliba potentially gets in their team based off form. I think he's
No,
better
I
than
don't
right
think he
now. I
does.
think he's better than Diaz on form.
No, I think
I was
Akanji
gonna
and
say,
Stones are as
Thank
good
God
as
you
him.
didn't say John Stones.
I think Akanji
Oh,
and
no,
Stones
God,
are their
no.
best
Oh,
too.
I love
Christ.
John Stones.
Akanji is world class, by the way.
Oh.
My flatmates love him.
We-
So
genuinely
good.
Man
love
United
him.
fans, we were linked with Akanji. I think it was
Yeah.
last summer. Every Man United fan turned.
Hasn't been drill past this season.
Turn
yet,
their
so-
nose up at him.
Yeah,
It's like a Akanji.
I'll hold my hands up. Yeah, I was the same. I didn't want him.
81 rated on
I know
FIFA.
that thing with him being good at maths is all gimmicky, isn't it? But his brain as a footballer is brilliant. You can
Oh,
tell how smart
yeah,
he is.
yeah.
You know, he's ticking the old
But,
game.
but footballers who are like, like Juan Mata, was like
step
ridiculously
ahead.
smart
They're a
footballers.
step ahead.
Lampard, Gundogan, Rodri, they're all very, very smart footballers. and
Well,
all
Lampard's very
incredible.
example.
Yeah.
Lampard's IQ is something stupidly high, isn't it? Can you remember
Like
that?
a
Nemanja
hundred-
Vidic.
I don't want to say
Nemanja
it's
Vidic.
above
Yeah,
150.
Yeah.
Nemanja
Nemanja Vidic
Vidic,
is
he's
another
really. I
Step
think
ahead, mate.
stepping away just from City as a
They're all
whole
footballers who are
and
known for
going
being smart, they're all
being a little
brilliant.
bit controversial myself here. I'm not a fan of Ruben Diaz. I'm not a major
I'm
fan.
not a fan of him.
Overrated.
He's just not as good as.
I think he was
Stones and
fantastic
Akanji.
last season. Last season he was brilliant. He was
No, his first
without a
season,
doubt. Yeah, first season. Sorry, without a doubt, he was
Yeah.
the best centre back in the league. He was better than Van Dijk.
Yeah.
But I think he's a good player, but he is nowhere near as good as what City make him out.
So
Stones
I think
Stones
City
fan.
fans have Diaz here, Stones, Laporte here. I think it's
I-
Stones,
No, I don't
Laporte,
agree.
Diaz.
No, I
Right,
don't think
I
they
live
will.
with two City fans. They have Stones and potentially even Akanji as their like top two at the moment. They've never. I'm pretty sure I might be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure Joe and Heath, shout out, both say that Diaz is not. He's good, but he's not like.
Well,
He's good rotation.
You
Brilliant.
have actual City fans who are
Brilliant.
like mature adults. I probably have City fans
Well, I
who
wouldn't go that
who are
far.
under
I-
the age
I
of
wouldn't go
16.
that far.
Yeah, I have the City fans who are under the age of 16 and saw Diaz get a couple of special cards on FIFA. So maybe my City fan logic is a little
how many
Yeah.
how many friends do you have that are under 16?
perfect.
Got him.
Just my huge following. Oh, sorry, I hated that. I hated that.
not verified, though.
No, I'm
Oh,
Sorry, mate.
you'll come on this podcast.
off. Right.
But are Arsenal title contenders?
No.
Realistically, no, but they're in the conversation. But they're not going to get any.
Well,
They
more.
deserve to be up there,
I think
don't
at the
they?
end of the
You've got
season
to have
they'll
a
be the second best
Yeah,
team in the
there's-
league.
there's
There's
conversation to be
always going to
had.
be a conversation.
It's a very quick conversation, but it's a conversation.
Yeah, fair play to them. They've started the season really well, but they will drop off inevitably, and City just keep going the whole season.
Yeah,
I-
City won't stop.
That's it, isn't it?
I
That's
have one more ball. No ball. It's not actually one that was put online, but
Go on.
one of my mates said to me yesterday. Actually,
Yeah.
he said that on his day, Yaya Toure is one of the best midfielders of all time.
Yeah, but you can say that about anyone.
It's
I
not
could
really
say that
actually
about
Paul
Pogba.
But I'm gonna
Pogba is that
spin
guy.
the argument a little bit and go. Yaya Toure is maybe one of the most well-rounded footballers of all time. He played as a centre back.
bit
He
lazy
can
for me,
finish.
but
He
yeah.
can carry the ball. He can dribble. He's quick. His physical stature is incredible. like I said, he can defend, he
Lazy.
can tackle, he can win the ball back, he can
So
shoot.
lazy.
He's almost
so
as
lazy.
Zidane,
Until he
though.
turned it on. And he
Yeah.
turned it on, no one could stop him.
Yeah,
He'd walk-
And then-
13,
I'm
14
assuming that's
season.
what your mate was on about.
On
Like,
his day,
he
yeah.
literally... He
I
wasn't
think-
even on his day.
But I think on his day,
It'd be on a,
he's
it'd
better
be on
his
a
day,
10
Paul
minute
Pogba,
to
by
10 minute
120
basis.
miles.
Yeah.
On a 10 minute to 10 minute basis, you'd see him lumbering around, not doing a lot, and then he picks up the ball on the edge of his box and he's gone. He's literally... and he scored.
But he was still in the ball back. I'll for City as well.
Right, he was a great player.
He was.
He
A,
was a great
that's what I mean by
player.
well-rounded. Like he started off as a centre back at Barcelona, and then came to City, and he was a six. Then he was a box-to-box midfielder. He played a lot further forward in that season as well when Aguero got injured.
Yeah.
That 13-14
And
season. That's why he scored so
he's
many
very
goals.
iconic as well with the number 42 on his back.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you know
But
why
he can
he's
shoot
got the
from
number
distance. He can shoot in the
42?
box. He can
Do
shoot
you-
from free kicks,
it-
penalties.
hang on.
He's just brilliant.
Do you want to know why he wears wore number 42? It's
He loves 42s.
No. Yeah. hold on.
Was indie music.
No, he was number 24
E-ball.
at Barcelona.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you who, but someone had it at City, so he just switched him around. That was it.
thrilling story.
Yep.
Wow.
And he put a curse on City to not win a championship.
Yeah.
It's like when strikers were like 72 because 7 plus 2
Didn't
equals
celebrate his
9.
birthday.
Oh, I seen that TikTok the other day.
I've got one actually, and this is one that I had a debate with a while ago with a few people.
Go on.
Do you think Sergio Aguero has a case
Oh.
to be the best striker of all time in the Premier League?
Yeah.
He has a case, yeah, but he's
He's got a
not.
case.
He has a case.
Uh,
definitely,
that-
but he's
Well,
not.
he is probably.
He's. I was on about this the other day. You'd have to have Shearer in there. I'm not saying he's number one. Henry is definitely the best to do it in the Premier League for me. Then you'd have Shearer,
Agreed, yeah.
Shearer and
Suarez,
Rooney.
Suarez.
You'd have Shearer and Rooney.
Aguero's better than
And the-
Suarez.
I think he's as well. But
But the thing the people
Do you think
think that people.
Aguero's a better striker than Suarez?
Yeah,
No.
In
See-
the Premier League, yes.
See- see-
Well, yeah, what are we talking about overall?
No,
like,
we're
as
talking
a-
in the Premier League.
Oh, well, in the Premier League.
The thing is-
sorry,
Suarez
I
is
think
better
as a
overall.
player, yeah.
The thing is
Jesus
that people
Christ.
have always argued when I've brought this up is they always say at any point in his career he wasn't even the best striker in the league.
Who's this?
Aguero.
Yes, he was.
At any point in his career, because if you
He's
think
the best
about
striker in the
it,
league
no,
for
no,
about
think
4
about it.
years.
11-12, Rooney was better. Rooney was a lot better. Then you had 13-14.
9-10, Rooney had a-
Yeah, but he
Rooney's
went in the
9-10.
league 9-10.
Rooney's
13-14,
11-12.
it was Suarez. Suarez, that is that is still for me the best individual season of all time in the Premier League. 14-15, you then
13-14.
Did
that was
And then
Suarez.
later
sorry,
years,
sorry,
Harry
sorry.
Kane, isn't
And
it?
then 14-15 onwards, it's pretty much maybe you'd have Aguero that year, and then other than that,
It's Harry
it's just
Kane.
Harry
Aguero's
Kane.
better than Kane.
Yeah, but I
Ooh,
think Kane had
not
better
for me.
seasons.
Aguero's better
I
than
Kane
can't
and
agree
Bale.
with I can't agree
Kane's
with
a
Harry Kane.
striker, mate.
Kane's brilliant.
think
Kane
He
is
is
on.
a striker.
I'd rather have Kane, I think.
Yeah, but
I love
then
it.
I could go on and say, well, if you're going
But
to say
they're
that
very
Wayne Rooney's
different
not a
strikers that you look at.
striker,
Well, Keane's
Yeah,
came back in the day when
he
he's
was.
in 14, 15,
He
15.
was and then wasn't. He was
yeah,
for
same
us,
with Kane though.
No, Kane's always been a drop deep
I think
for me.
Still a striker.
Aguero in the Premier League right now is third, but then Harry Kane will probably become third.
But do you think he's got a case? Do you
I think
think there's an
Harry Kane at
argument
14,
to have him as the
15,
best of all
16
time?
wasn't a
Again,
drop-deep
going
striker.
back to my City flatmates, they all say Aguero is the best, but
Yeah,
they're
they're
obviously
good,
very,
aren't
yeah,
they?
yeah.
That's like
I
you'll
loved
always say
Aguero.
Shearer is.
Yeah,
Me
but-
and Jamie will always say
but-
Rooney's the best
But
to
I do
ever
think
do it.
there is a case. There is a case.
There is definitely a case, but
Rooney is.
as
He's
high
definitely top
tech
five.
and
Definitely top five.
And
But-
I put that on a poll on my Snapchat private story, yeah, because I was genuinely intrigued. It got like 70% no, like no one seems to think that
Aguero is the best.
that he's even got a case.
Because he's got a
Well, 'cause
case.
he's got a case.
Got a case.
Because my exact
Case.
question was, does he have a case to be the best
The whole-
striker of all
the whole, like,
time? And
top
they-
seven.
Rob Van Persie almost has a case. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of strikers that have a case.
yeah,
Having a case is
The
probably
stronger
being in the top
cases.
yeah,
seven, you know
okay.
what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, strong
Like
case.
Drogba
Like
has a
top,
case.
like top 5.
Top 5, yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Top 5 then. That's
was very
more so
good.
what I mean.
Aguero's-
Yeah, I'll go-
Aguero's
Aguero
top
doesn't have
five.
a case, I don't think.
Who are your top 5 of all time?
What, strikers? Premier League strikers? Yeah.
Ooh.
In no particular order. Or order.
Order.
Oh, right.
I'm not saying mine, so we'll get...
Shearer, Henry, Aguero, Rooney, Suarez.
I have Henry as a winger, so I can put Rooney number 1. But Henry number 1, Rooney number 2.
Yeah, I don't think Henry was a striker, was he? He could get
Well, his prime icon on FIFA is a striker.
No, to be fair, he did play wing when he went to Barcelona.
Yeah,
didn't
it was when he went to Barca.
he?
Okay, I think you have to put Suarez in there. I don't know.
I
It's
would.
just, like, Suarez's time in the Premier League was untouchable. Like, I don't know.
I'd have Henry at 1.
Yeah.
I'd have Henry.
I'd have to have Rooney at 2 for
Yeah,
just
so
personal
it's-
bias.
Yeah.
See, Shearer was a great player, and he's always going to be in there because he scored 260
He has to be.
goals.
He's played in 44
He's in
game
there.
seasons, though.
Yeah, but it's still scored the goals.
But then, I think the game's past him. Really, I think Kane, Suarez, and Aguero were all better players.
But it's not his fault.
Yeah,
They didn't play.
Shearer was playing what he was up against.
Yeah, I know.
So to be fair,
argument.
defenders have improved, though, haven't they?
No, that's what I mean. I'm not like Shearer's fantastic, but the thing is, you just sort of look at it as a player.
Just because he turned you down, mate. It's all right.
A couple of times. But, you'd have to put him in probably third, and then third Shearer, then
Yeah, fair.
Aguero and Kane.
You said Kane was better than Aguero?
No, I said Kane's better than Suarez, didn't I?
No, you said
Oh,
He said Kane's
I,
better
I,
than Aguero.
went, I went, I think Aguero's better than Kane. You went, no, he's not.
No, I meant he's better than Suarez. Sorry.
But
Aguero.
overall, who's the best?
Kane's fantastic.
Kane's very
Kane's one of
Yeah, well,
the
we're talking like
different-
Premier League
so
Suarez
different.
because I feel it's unfair
Premier
on
League-
Suarez
Premier
because then this other strikers.
Yeah,
just
but then
get
if you
ahead
go
of
in
him,
all
it's more
time, if you go in
definitely
all time, and you're getting fucking Lewandowski, Benzema, you just it's too much then, isn't it?
well, no, Suarez is better than both of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry,
he is.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Suarez genuinely has the case to be the best striker of all time.
I fully back that. Of our
got the most
generation, in my
assists?
opinion, Suarez, the second most assists of all time. I think
Actually,
in our
here's
generation of the Messi Ronaldo generation,
love-
Suarez is third.
here's one that
Neymar's fourth.
that we always get.
No,
yeah.
Neymar was. Sorry. Say
What?
that.
So of our generation of like the Messi Ronaldo generation, I have Messi number 1, Ronaldo number 2, Suarez number 3, Neymar number 4.
He's a Neymar fan.
Yeah, I
Big
know he is.
Neymar
I
fan.
bloody love Neymar.
No one can think Suarez is better than Neymar. Sorry,
I think
No,
the way you've got to look at it is Suarez was never the best player in the world. 2016 Neymar,
Oh my
best
God.
player on the planet. He didn't win the Ballon d'Or. He didn't get recognised, but he was.
But he's winning it this year.
He should do.
Yeah, should do. Yeah, should do.
No,
yeah.
but
Neymar.
well, if it carries on how he's
Well, I
going.
think it'll be Kareem.
If they win the World Cup,
Well, they won the World Cup, mate.
if they win the World Cup, he's winning it. I'm
Another
telling
one
you, he's
I've
winning it.
got, actually.
When's he
Over
get
this-
announced? He gets
over
announced in
this-
January, doesn't it?
Imagine Vinicius wins it. that'd be mental.
I think if Brazil wins the Ballon d'Or, probably
No,
won't.
no, they'll give
He did get a
Vinicius.
Champions League winning goal.
That's what I mean.
No,
He's won the
that's what I'm
Champions League.
saying.
He won the double.
No.
He won the double Remedy. But you just got to think of how the Ballon d'Or works. He won the double
It'll be
Remedy,
Neymar.
and then he wins the World
No,
Cup.
but Neymar win it because it's
Benzema's going to win.
I
It's
know,
not even
it's like-
close.
They wanna
Benzema's
give it
profitable
going
as
to
well.
Neymar's
They'll
winning
want it. If Vinicius wins it so early, they'll be like,
win.
Neymar's winning it.
Yeah, because if Vinicius wins it, then
I'd love
like,
it. If he
he'd
won
win
it,
it
I
before
would
Mbappe
love
and
it.
Haaland. And
That'd be
Neymar
brilliant.
deserves one.
I think
He does.
more than
does, yeah.
anyone. More than Benzema. Not bothered. Benzema's been good for been elite for like 3 seasons.
If they
He
win,
has.
if they win the World
He's always
Cup,
been,
yeah.
he's been very,
Not
very,
been
very
elite.
good. Yeah,
He was in Ronaldo's shadow whenever Ronaldo's there. He's only just took it on now. Neymar's been great wherever he's been, even when he was next to Messi.
But then if you're
He
going to
just
go
wanted
like
to
that,
move away from Messi. to be out of his shadow.
yeah,
He's
he
still
walked
brilliant.
out of Messi's shadow straight into Mbappe's.
No.
But he
come on,
did.
No,
He
come
did.
on.
No, he
That-
really
that-
did.
That's them first 2 seasons of PSG.
Yeah, no, maybe not
Mbappe did
right now,
outperform
but he
Neymar,
really,
did.
really did.
Mbappe did outperform Neymar.
But
in the first 2 seasons
I
of
think
PSG.
No, he didn't.
just one more on
Did.
Suarez. There's a lad I know.
But if Mbappe is good if Neymar isn't there.
No.
No.
No,
Um, there's this one lad I know, and he swears on it that Salah has been better for Liverpool than Suarez.
Oh,
and
no.
I just can't get my head around it. I cannot get my head around that. I don't think Salah's not even half the player Suarez
That's a really good
was.
debate point, though. That.
Oh, yeah.
You
No,
can
it's
argue-
not. It's really not.
I'm not offended by that.
You can
opinion,
argue, well,
but-
I am.
Salah's done more for Liverpool than Suarez did.
Yeah, but Salah's team fucking shits on Suarez's
fair.
team.
No, yeah, fair.
I know you can always pull that argument, and
Yeah,
like you
no,
say with
fair.
Shearer, and like he didn't really have the
If you
best
look
team.
beyond
but-
Coutinho and Sturridge in when
He
Suarez's
did,
team,
but we just didn't win anything.
terrible compared to what
Pardon?
we had. We were just saying that Salah's had a better team. to
Yeah,
follow.
of course, yeah.
So if you look beyond Coutinho and Sturridge, their team was so bang average. wasn't
Yeah,
it?
It's
Steven
sort of
Gerrard
like-
was still playing that team with,
It's sort of
34
like
years.
saying that Jordan Henderson's a better captain for Liverpool than Steven Gerrard because he won the Champions League and the Premier
Colo
League.
Touré was starting centre half of them, wasn't he?
Did Gerrard ever get
Mamadou
investigated
Sakho
by the
was
FA?
playing today.
Probably.
What?
Did Gerrard ever get investigated by the FA?
No, he definitely did.
That's mate. He is.
Yeah.
Well, someone is. Someone's getting investigated by the FA.
Allegedly.
No, it is.
No,
It's
he
true.
actually-
Someone is.
no, he's
And
not.
it's one of them ones where we don't know. We don't know.
What's
what
this?
said
We don't
because
know
We
it's-
weren't on the pitch.
Right. So I'm just gonna. Let me just line it out. So
This isn't about the Henderson thing, is it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Henderson
Right.
on,
So
Gabriel.
someone.
We
is-
can talk about it. It's fine.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. No. Listen.
Yeah.
Someone's getting investigated by the FA. We don't know who it is. I've not released a name, but it was someone, and we've seen in the game there was discussions between Gabriel and Henderson that took place, and then there was players that looked very startled by what was said. That's what's happened. We've seen that.
I know. It seems to be all Brazilians that are startled. Gabriel's Brazilian
and-
teammates for me.
And I know it's so
Alisson,
TikToky,
yeah.
but for me, when Firmino's looking at him like that, like disappointed, That's worrying, isn't it?
I think the most shocking thing was when he went over
Klopp.
to the
And
he
Klopp-
went over to Klopp.
And
Klopp
didn't
didn't
Klopp
look
might-
happy with it, did he?
Klopp
was
might-
like, what?
Is it no?
I liked
Yeah.
it, to be fair, from
Yeah,
Klopp,
'cause
because
he's
him and
like- he's
Arteta
like,
are in discussion like something bad's happened here, aren't they? They were talking like
I actually read that from the referee.
humans, weren't yeah,
Yeah, I like that from the referee. I think that was
Michael
really
Oliver
good
is
game
a good
management.
referee.
I bloody
He
hope
is.
it hasn't.
I
He
agree.
had a very good game.
I really hope it's nothing.
I
Like
hope
for
it's
football, for
nothing.
football's sake.
Especially
I just
on
hope
that
it's
weekend.
Henderson's a lot of things, but I don't think he's.
Especially on no
racist.
racism weekend.
Yeah,
as well.
I
Really
can't-
bad luck.
I'm really intrigued
Which
to
really,
happen.
which really scares me, the Klopp, because you can see Klopp go, like he looks away and he goes, no.
Well, it's the worrying.
And
It's the worrying on his
what worries,
teammates' faces,
that's
isn't
what
it?
worries me, because if Klopp has that reaction, he must go. Because we'd all probably have the same reaction as well if Jordan Henderson said something
What it-
racist
yeah,
to a
the
player.
thing
You
is-
go, not Jordan Henderson.
What it looks
no.
like-
yeah,
You would
that's
go,
the thing.
no.
It's when Gabriel and Firmino, obviously both Brazilian, are talk. And all the Brazilians were talking at the end of the game, actually, weren't they? I don't know if you've seen that in the coverage. They were showing them all talking to each other, so anything could happen. But it's when you know Gabriel's obviously said to Firmino when he sort of looked across and been like, that's worrying, isn't it?
And the fact when the ref brought them two together and was like, "Can you, like settle this?" Even after that, Gabriel was like, "Nah, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
it's,
not."
it's a really awkward position for the referee because obviously you can't settle on the pitch because he's not hurt himself, so you can't do anything, can you? Because you don't know.
He's just gone like, give each other space, and Gabriel's like still
Yeah, 'cause
pointing.
he can't-
him,
yeah, that's
like,
what I mean. Because he can't do anything else, can he? He's
Yeah.
in a really unfortunate position where he's so.
But I think he's done so well to
Yeah,
manage it.
he did
We,
really,
we,
really well.
we
Yeah,
can't
he did a good
speculate
game.
it, but from what we've seen, it looks worrying.
It does look bad.
I don't think.
Yeah,
I
from
think-
what is alleged, it
Yeah,
sounds.
it's going to be very
I
hard to
saw something
convict.
on
though.
Twitter. It was like regarding the number 5 for Arsenal, and I don't think you would have had anywhere near the same reaction if Henderson had said something about number 5.
Yeah.
But if I
Who
think
is that number 5?
Who's?
no Pirlo, no.
Yeah.
So
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Arsenal-
Sorry.
Arsenal's-
I lost where I was.
Arsenal's,
Yeah, yeah,
Arsenal's
yeah.
number 5, and
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
if Henderson was saying anything about Arsenal's number 5, it wouldn't have. There was no way it grants that reaction.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
And
isn't it?
Gabriel doesn't. And I don't know. It doesn't look good. Yeah, you don't want to speculate, but it doesn't look good.
I guess we'll see what happens. But it's one of those ones that's really hard to like pinpoint what he said and
Yeah.
find
You
evidence.
can't
and-
speculate. You just can't until it comes out. It's sort of like it's a completely different scale, but with like the F1, with the cost cap breach, you sort of everyone's going to speculate, but you just can't. Everyone wants to know, well, what penalties are Red Bull and Aston Martin going to get? Is Max going to have his title stripped? You can talk about it for hours, but until it actually comes out,
You just have to wait. It's a waiting game, yeah. And I think is what like we were just talking about it. But do you remember the Suarez Ever incident a while ago?
Yeah.
And the only reason it was ever picked up was because Sky Sports hired someone who was good at reading voice reading,
lip
and also
reading,
there were microphones behind the goal
Yeah.
that picked up what he said. It's the only reason it happened. So I think if. I don't know. It could be Henderson's word against Gabriel. It could be the referee's word against Henry. It's just it's going to be a big mess, and it'll be an interesting story.
I just hope it gets resolved quickly because this will just hang over the Premier League for
Liverpool having a bad season.
it's
already.
hangover Henderson
nothing
in
to do
Liverpool
with
for a long
this
time
is
as well.
this is way above football.
Yeah, no,
I
but,
I think
it's
if it doesn't get resolved for the World Cup, I could see him.
Can I say one thing just before we finish?
I could see him not being picked.
What makes me fearful is that Henderson's not come out and said anything since it, and I feel like if you're innocent, you.
But what can he say?
The thing is, if he comes out and denies it straight away, then they're sort of
It
like,
looks more like-
yeah.
Yeah, well,
No, I
well,
think
he
it-
has said something then.
No,
Hasn't
but I
he?
think it makes you look more guilty if you're leaving it for your legal team
I
to
don't
sort
think
it
so.
out.
I don't, because I think if he
I
backs
kinda-
himself to know
They
that
will
he
have told
I
him
think
to
he's
say
been told,
nothing.
do not mention it. It doesn't get mentioned in training. We just
pretend
anytime
like-
someone ever mentions it, no comment.
Pretend like literally nothing's happened.
Yeah.
Like you're
because
oblivious.
the first
It's bad, but
They can do nothing about it now. I don't think they can do
the
anything
first
about it. It's
question
done, it's done.
in
There's nothing they
Klopp's
can
next
do.
pre-match interview is going to be, unless the media have been briefed not to ask about
No,
it.
they
Oh
won't be
yeah,
allowed.
they'll
They won't
be.
be allowed. They won't be
It'll
allowed.
be if you ask, you're out.
Yeah.
It'll be like a
Yeah,
bannable offence if you ask a
unless,
question about
well,
100%.
no, even if it is like sorted by then, they still probably can't.
You wouldn't though, would you?
No.
You just wouldn't. It's
It
one of
shouldn't
them
any
things.
your
sense
press
about
Not
pass.
with Klopp as well, especially with Klopp.
You'd lose your
God,
press
he'd
pass,
cry,
that's the main
wouldn't
thing
he?
for
Yeah,
you. You
that's what I mean.
lose-
They
You lose your
job.
paper's whole route of stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it'd be stupid. Yeah.
And as well, I mean, for Henderson's sake, it's probably best that they lost because all the questions about the game, they'll talk about the Henderson incident, but they'll probably also be talking
Thing
about
is,
Liverpool's downfall.
People are always going to talk. That's never going to change. Whether it's on a podcast or in the media, it's always going to be spoken about.
Yeah.
It's just one of them things. You're going to have to leave it. Let the FA do their thing, and hopefully they come out with the right sort
Conclusion,
of
yeah.
conclusion either way. They do it the right way, and they don't pick sides, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a
is,
really
yeah.
tough one.
Yeah, but I think that's where we're going to leave it for this episode.
Yeah.
And I hope you do enjoy. I hope you did enjoy this episode. And if you have any ball or no balls, leave them down below, and you will definitely get a mention on the podcast, and we'll shout out your name, and hopefully if something to say, or Legs will ban you. And yeah, check out our socials there on the whiteboard, and I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.